Now I can't edit the things.
Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever this finds you, whenever this finds you. Today we are carrying on with our quarantine campaign, playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, playing through the 2013 adventure Legacy of the Crystal Shard. Now, we are also incorporating a fair amount of material from Wizards of the Coast's most recent kind of mega adventure, Rime of the Frostmaiden. So if you are intending on playing Rime of the Frostmaiden at some point in the future, then you may want to come back at another time and watch this, just to avoid spoilers. I'm changing a substantial amount of stuff from that, so it's not going to be directly spoilers, but in the event that this might spoil your fun playing that, I'll just give that warning so you can make the decision for yourself. If you don't care about Rime of the Frostmaiden, or you've already played it, or you're DM, then welcome! Let me introduce you to our Quarantine Crusaders, who will be playing today, the stars of the Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign. First up, Dave, why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what level are you currently, and what your proficiency points are in. Dave?
Oh, sorry. I was putting my dagger of speed in. Hey, everybody. I'm Dave. I am playing Lex Wiltshire. He's a 6th level ranger of Myliki. He's half-elven. And his proficiency points?
Well, yours. I think yours are in armory, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. I have a +2 in armoring. Make it seem...
What is?
Sorry, that's me. That's me. I forgot to mute my laptop.
Boo.
Sorry, go. I know. Boo. Bush League DM.
Bush League DM. And today I'm making a black and gold dice bag.
Cool. Next up is Mo.
Hi, I'm Morris. I'm playing Thomas Branner, and my ability points are in...
Knowledge of...
Sorry, I'm just trying to...
South Asian prog
mountaineering,
rock.
riding, survival.
No, we meant you, Mo. And we've learned, just before we went live, that Mo's specialty is in South Asian prog rock. So... next up is Andrew.
Hi, I am Andrew. I'm playing Kola Hammerstone, a hopefully soon-to-be 6th level dwarven cleric priest of Clangeddon. And it proficiency scores like the character or me?
Well, we know now from beforehand what Andrew's proficiency scores is in online role-playing in a Battlestar Galactica forum.
I knew way too much about that show. Let me tell you. Oh
and
my God.
Last but certainly not least is John.
Hey everyone, I'm John. I'm playing Falkroll Hawkfriend. He is a half-elven ranger cleric of Solinar.
And for those who may be curious, John's proficiency points are in Lore Pathfinder 1.
Yep.
And monster consumption +2.
All right. So then, guys, last session was actually was an eventful one too. You guys faced some pretty fearsome adversaries, and you made off with some pretty impressive spoils. What happened last time, guys?
Well, we were in the ice troll cave. We tracked them down. Falkrill and Lex tracked them to their hideout, which was this giant fissure, which was 200 feet deep and 100 feet long, 30, 40 feet wide. We went down in, and Tom went down in first and got attacked by some ice trolls. So we, tried to get down there and help them out. Cleared the first couple of rooms and found an altar that would, an ancient Netherese altar that would help identify items.
Mm-hmm.
Which was awesome because we found a whole bunch of items, but not before finding out that there's like 3 more adjacent areas full of trolls, and they all came rushing out. We set up a little defensive spot in the room that we were in, and then Grim decided it was a good time for a flaming sphere. And while Lex took a little damage and got a little grouchy, it turned out to be really good for the party because it scared all the trolls off. And we were able to loot freely and identify a whole bunch of really cool items.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Only problem is the trolls ran away, and we don't know, and they're coming back.
Yeah. So, It will be evening when you guys have finished up collecting everything, distributing the loot, the goods, and whatnot. No one dinged yesterday, did they? In spite of that massive dump of XP, no?
I am so close, 1,500 points away. So
I'm 20,000 away.
So you got a ways to go. You know, one thing I noticed, this is a non-sequitur, but one thing I noticed yesterday is that the mages really catch up in like the mid 10s, like between 1 and 10. They suddenly have, like, you can get a mage gets to 7th level before a fighter does, XP wise, which is interesting. So like the fighters get the early boost and get up an early advantage, but then once you get to that like mid-range in between 1 and 10, the mages suddenly catch up, and mages and druids is even crazier. Druids get to like 7th or 8th level with the same amount of XP that like a thief needs to get to 5 or 6.
Oh, one of the items that we found, because I just noticed someone in chat. I don't know if Sir Ice King has watched the last episode, but one of the items that we found.
Yeah, no, I heard from. I emailed him yesterday.
Very, very
so
special.
Welcome, Ice King. Welcome, Brian, too. Yeah, Ice King, if you haven't seen yesterday's episode, we won't spoil it for you, but there's something interesting that was caught. And it's in Grimm's possession right now, so we won't see it in this session. But when Grimm gets back next time, it will definitely be there. So then, guys, what
Ice King watched the episode. He says amazeballs.
Oh, that's awesome. That's terrific. Well, again, thank you so much for your generous donation. That was very, very nice of you and very unnecessary, but hope you enjoy seeing him make use of it. And I mean, the spell is not technically Magic Missile, but I felt like with your moniker, it felt even better having that icicle spell that works just very, very much like Magic Missile, but just a little more flavorful. So that's from what do you call it, the Wizard Spell Compendium too. Then, guys, what do you wish to do now? You have a whole bunch of new loot. You got a bunch of new items. Does everyone have their new weapons, whatever ones they've chosen to select on their character sheets?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I have written down that Kola is in possession of a Ring of Mud, or a Mud Ring. He has not equipped it. I want to be very clear about that.
I definitely think you should take off the Ring of Baranar if you start using the Ring of Mud, though. Because
I will tell you, I was thinking about this yesterday. When I roll the percentage for plane shift, it will be in chat, so there'll be no question as to what.
So then I'm absolutely clear on this point, and I don't want to belabor it, but is it only the use of the footprint manipulation feature that is not subject to the plane shift, whereas
Correct.
Everything else is?
As far as you know, yes.
Because you also said that the ring gives +1 to attacks and stuff like that.
Yes, that's automatically. Those are not using the powers of the ring.
Okay. So anything that is just a passive effect of the ring,
Yep.
does not trigger the risk of the
as
plane
far
shift.
as you know, yes.
As far as I know, it's the active use of a spell associated with the ring that, as far as I know, runs the risk of triggering that.
Precisely. Yeah.
I see. Okay, and I still don't know if the damn thing is cursed. I mean that is already.
To be honest, you guys don't know if any of them are cursed. You won't. No.
Nope. That's true. We'll have to take it to a little bit more
sometimes
than
the
an altar.
curses sometimes take a time to manifest as well too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In another campaign, Dave's character grabbed an owl-shaped talisman and didn't realize it was cursed until he tried to take it off.
Yikes.
Yeah.
and it wasn't even that I couldn't take it off; it's that my character didn't want to take it off, so I had to role play through it.
Yeah. Like someone else who had it taken off of them unwillingly murdered the members of his party and then got caught trying to break into the place where it had been sold. So curses in AD&D are rarely just like, oh, you take a penalty to hit or something like that. It's much more creative than that. So
Cola knows all about this.
Yeah.
Yo,
the
Black Ice, what's up?
The plane shift thing is actually completely independent of the of whatever curses may be on there as well too. But as far as you know, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. Come on, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Okay. So, now one of the things that you guys had mentioned yesterday that I will point out is that you did recover some magic items from the, what do you call it? From the Yeti cave as well too that have yet to be identified. There was a hide, that fancy looking hide armor, and there was that mask.
We didn't bring them, did we?
We didn't bring them though, so we'd have to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to come back to get those identified.
So then, what do you guys wish to do with today? It is nighttime now. The weather still is apparently holding. Dave, give us some weather rolls there, weatherman. Let's see what is in store for tomorrow, because that'll probably have an effect on the coming weather. Ooh, there's precipitation tomorrow. Oh boy. Yeah, so there's a storm coming in.
I would say this isn't a bad place to be, except that this is also the troll's home.
Yeah, so it's going to be heavy snow, strong winds. None of you guys are going to be affected by the winds because you're not small enough. But I mean, it's a -2 penalty for range attacks. Plus, there's the snow, so like the tracks that you guys follow to get here will very swiftly be obscured.
I say we should make our way back before it gets any later.
Yep.
Mm. Well, if you do wish to identify those other two things too, Cola is able to cast, because he does have access to divine. Much as he denies it, Cola does have access to divination spells, so he could, in theory, identify if you do want to identify those other two ones. So then, guys, you're going to make your way back. Let's see.
Yes. Head our way back.
Okay, so let's see if anything of interest happens on the way. Let's see. Where is... There it is.
Before we go, I should probably load up with some healing spells.
What?
Everybody's okay with that.
Do you mean cast them, or do you mean...
Well, yeah, cast some healing spells.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I don't know if everyone's... Cola's at full. You're down by 6.
Yeah.
In terms of HP?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're full.
Tom's a bit banged up.
Yep.
Tom, okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I've got 2 Cure Lights and 2 Cure Moderates available. So,
yep.
Tom, here is...
I'll hold on to a Cure Moderate and a Cure Light just in reserve.
Whoa. Oh, Tom's rolling initiative by accident.
No, I'm just checking my my new weapons. Which
okay, so 3.
Yeah, no, it is whispered to your initiative roll, to me.
There you go, Tom.
Okay.
That 8 is for you.
Sorry. Ignore that.
So you get 8 points of
where's my
healing.
character? Right.
Your token is right here. Okay.
All right, guys, let's...
And I will say that other than the 2 Cure Lights, 1 Cure Moderate, I am, and 1 spiritual weapon, I am running really low. I'm running on fumes here in terms of magic.
I've got a prayer spell left over and 2 endure colds in case we need them.
Okay.
And got some other stuff, but it's not going to be relevant.
I'm going to scamper up past the rope and then put my boots back on.
Okay.
My snowshoe.
Yeah, and once you spend 24 hours with your halberd, Falco, you won't be feeling the cold anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a look at our big map here. The Icewind Dale. Okay. Here we go. Let me get this organized. Zoom in a scooch here. And I'll move some tokens. Not here today. Not here today. All right. So then... Oh, yeah. Oh.
What's funny?
Yeah, you're enjoying your coffee this morning.
Oh, I'm one of those guys. Sorry, guys. This is pumpkin chai tea, actually.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. I'm the worst.
What are you talking about?
Care.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. You like what you like.
Harney and Sons Boston tea. It's got flavors of cranberry.
Yeah, I know. It's just I'm one of those who loves to fall for pumpkin spice lattes and stuff. Even though it's ridiculous, you can get them year round, but it's just I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that. Again, you like what you like. People like blood sausage. Okay, so
what
then
are you saying about blood sausage? What is wrong with that?
it's a Groundhog Day reference.
Can't have a proper English breakfast without one.
He uses it as an example. He's like, people are morons. People like blood sausage.
Oh, right. Fair.
Yeah. Okay, so then, guys, the trip back to first collect your firewood. Why don't you give us a... I'm not going to give a penalty for it, but someone, either one of Lex or Falcor, or you guys can both roll, but remember on nat 20 you get lost. Give me a tracking roll. You guys decide first if you're both rolling or only one of you rolling.
Do we want direction sense, or are we going to try and track our way back?
You're trying to track... Direction sense doesn't help you with all it helps you with is figuring out... or helping you to avoid getting lost. And tracking is one sure way to not get lost. Okay. Did you say you were or were not rolling, John?
I'm fine with rolling for both of us if we both want to roll.
So again, like it doesn't work when only one of you rolls. If you were intending on rolling, you guys need to all roll. You don't get to roll once and then decide whether you're going to roll.
Oh, so, no. I mean, if Lex wants to roll too, I'll roll with him, but I'm planning on rolling.
Yeah, okay. So then go ahead and give us a roll.
Dangerously close again.
Again, that's 2 19s with your tracking roll. So, yeah, it's, again, like Falcor sort of was convinced that it was a different way, but it's I think the ice trolls did that same thing where because actually what makes sense is that when they came scrambling up, they sort of spread off in different directions. So Falcor, you were just like you were confident that one of the tracks that is not the correct one was the way to get back to the stand of trees that you guys found. But Lex, you fortunately persevered. Where's your head at right now, Falcor? Gosh.
He's excited about his halberd.
Yeah, he's missing his bird too. So then you guys, so with asshole, then what you're gonna have to do is either like fix your perch to like one of the rams so it can sit on there, or you're gonna have to secure your halberd in such a way that it's gonna take more than just a, but you do have the rams still, so that's easy enough.
Yeah, I would have left him at the camp, so we'll figure out when I get there.
Okay. All right. So, guys, it takes you about 3 hours to get back, collect all your firewood. Do you remember how much firewood you collected? It was like 5 or 6, wasn't it?
It was 6 days worth, I think.
6 days worth.
We have a total.
5, actually.
One person rolled a 5, one person rolled a 1?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. So we could both go. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember it totaling 6.
Yeah.
So with my tracking, we have 8 days total after we used 1 for this last camp.
Dave, you trying to get a signal there or what?
Sorry?
Are you trying to get a signal there or what?
Yeah.
Sorry, that might have been my phone warning me that the nerds are going to be turning up shortly. So.
Oh, okay. No, I saw Dave have his
I might
hands
have
up.
to disappear.
All right.
Stretching a little bit. I got to limber up for making chainmail.
Absolutely. All right, then, guys. You arrive back in camp with Ostin and Longclaw waiting there. The rams remain intact.
Rams? Good.
Yep. Let's see
Else
here.
we'd be fighting some bears.
I need to find a better picture of a polar bear. I got this like fearsome thing with like spikes coming out of it. So I'll have to do that between now and next session. But anyway, so Longclaw is they're waiting there for you, and when they see you coming back with all of this loot, once again, Ostin, kind of lumbers forward in man-bear form, and says, "Twice you have followed, and twice you come back with riches. The gods are in your favor."
If only that were true.
Useful items, not just valuables. With some new weapons that will also help us in our quest.
Good. Good.
Falkrul looks at Ocean and says, "You wouldn't happen to know the lair of a silver dragon anywhere nearby, would you?"
A friendly one.
Silver dragon. The only dragons seen in these parts for centuries have had scales white as snow.
I mean, it could have been a trick of the light.
It could be Cola.
Last we saw, it was all bones.
Indeed. As it was when I saw last.
Well, should let you know though, the trolls that we went after, probably about 12 of them escaped. They ran fleeing from Grimm's magical fire. So
Cowards.
cowards, and perhaps seeking vengeance for raiding their lair. Who knows?
Whether vengeance outweighs their cowardice, we shall see. If they come, we will teach them the error of their ways.
Indeed.
Indeed. I think we should still double up on watch.
Agreed.
Idea.
Longclaw. There has been Cola. Your creature that you saw, the Yeti. He has returned. Lurks out in the wastes near us, begging for food.
What did you do?
We roared, and he ran.
That's fair enough. Sensible.
Very
Did you
fair.
wish something other?
I don't.
It
Maybe.
seemed the runt of the tribe.
Aye, but and forgive me. I spent a great deal of the last few decades south, not here in the Dale, but from memory and from experience here now, it strikes me that Yetis don't oft go alone on their lonesome.
No.
It seems odd that this youngling seems to be out here. I mean, perhaps we destroyed or killed its family. Call it guilt.
You do strike me as a family annihilator. I'm kidding.
Wow. Wow.
Mama feel it.
It'd be like that, do it?
Cola, mama
Well, I
feel
must
it.
admit, we think that the White Witch has been manipulating or controlling some of the Yeti because they were attacking towns where they normally don't go.
Then this small one may be a spy.
I'm sitting
Well-
at the fire and I'll look up and I'll look at Austin. Friend Austin, it was you who reminded me not so long ago that Yeti are not mere beasts, and not mere creatures drawn by pure instinct alone. And if they are creatures that have intellect and have the capacity to understand the world around them, however limited that may be, it strikes me that a young creature like this certainly could be a spy in the employ of the White Witch. It could also simply be a young child trying to survive and being very confused and scared and not knowing what it should be doing to survive.
Indeed. But what would you offer it? A Yeti's fur absorbs heat and is cold to the touch as the deepest heart of winter. This is no mere pet. I will defer to you. Mercy is always preferable to a cold heart.
You're suggesting we put it out of its.
I leave it to you. If this thing is not a confederate of the White Witch, then it may very well be a desperate child.
I'm going to go quiet at this point, considering this. Cola's on the verge of saying something that he, at the last minute, some strange force compels his mouth silent, lest he betray some information.
Okay.
His true motives about maybe wanting to keep this Yeti around.
Is there an internal struggle going on with Cola as well with respect to that? Like that?
Well, I've actually wanted to kind of ask you, how is this affecting me? Unless you're...
No, I'll leave it to you. If something happens, I will certainly let you know. But the reason I ask is because I'm wondering whether it would be appropriate for the other players other characters who have known you for quite a while and particularly may have been mindful of the influence of Black Ice before, has seen that personality change, whether they would be entitled to a wisdom check with a substantial penalty to see, like, he's acting kind of funny.
No one else knows of the medallion. No one else knows that there's anything to do with the Black Ice with this Yeti, and we haven't necessarily encountered the Black Ice otherwise. Not for sessions.
It wouldn't necessarily be the Black Ice I'm thinking of. If there is an internal struggle, he may be like he may have that look like he's going to say something and then chooses to remain silent, and the other characters may pick up on that. That's what I'm asking. Is whether
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, it's going to be a -8 to their wisdom, so it's not like they're going to automatically pick it up. It just for if someone has a suspicion of, like, Golden's usually pretty, open with his beliefs and his opinions, so it may be they may pick up that he's just abandoning this, this argument or this discussion at this point. Your call, though. If you feel that it's not reached the point where there's that internal conflict,
that it might be a little premature.
Okay.
But that's a good note, and I like it, and I think maybe that's something I can work into play. I think that makes sense.
So when Cola's wearing nothing but Black Ice armor and calling himself the new,
I think by that.
I am my uncle's nephew.
But Andrew, that's contrary to what you just told us.
What?
You just told us that you were about to say something and you stopped.
Yeah, well, yeah, you would certainly see Cola's mouth. My mouth opens as if to say something, and then I don't, and I just get quiet and stare at the fire. That you would absolutely. I'm not saying you don't see that.
So why don't we? And it's not
I don't know what the connection
no, and I don't think
you
that
could say that there's behavior shifts. Yes,
yeah. So why don't you guys all make wisdom checks? Take -8 to your wisdom as your score. So. Take your wisdom score -8. You want to roll that or less on a d20, please.
Yikes.
Yeah, it ain't going to be easy, but... Okay. Lex is not paying attention to that whatsoever.
Oh, Falkroll.
Oblivious.
Falkroll, though, what do you see across the... you're obviously, like, reuniting with Asshole. You're like, I missed you, and then it bites your finger. Fuck! Oh, you goddamn...
He likes me. He doesn't like anyone else. So I just look over, and Falkroll tends to be laconic, and he listens, and he doesn't, he kind of he speaks when there's something to be said. So he listens to Cola when he's talking to Ostin, and he just kind of notices it's a little odd that Cola bites back his words and doesn't say anything. I mean, under the stress we've been at, he doesn't think it's too far out of the norm, but. Then again, he's self-reflecting on his own personality traits.
Okay.
So it might cause him to pay more attention.
Okay.
Because it is out of character.
Yeah. So like in the film version of this, in as the conversation's going back and forth, we see Cola finish. He's talking, and then we see him open up, and there's a brief flash to the black medallion hanging around the Yeti Tyke's neck. and he kind of just stops talking, and then just leaves the conversation kind of hanging there. Everyone else is going about their business, but across the camp, across from the roaring fire, the snow falling down, his hood pulled up, we can see that the fire is reflecting the intense stare that Falcarel has on Cola.
Nice.
Something is amiss. You don't know what. All right, so then, guys, and probably like what there would probably be nothing to do with the black ice. It would just be like, what is going on with this Yeti?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ice Cola. Oh, what's with the Yeti?
Yeah.
And Cola himself also doesn't. Like, I have no clue.
No. All right. So then, guys, what? As the snow is coming in, and you guys take your different watches, you also remember that you are. You're on the far side of the river, but you hear in the middle of the night, over the sound of the ever-growing wind. Those of you on watch can hear a cackling howl from somewhere on the far side of the river that carries over. And it sounds like it's coming from several packs. Imagine kind of a combination of like a hyena cackle and a wolf's howl. That's what's carried in on the wind. And you do recall the name of the vale here is the Hungry Vale. So
We should get into the peaceful, warm Vale.
yeah, exactly. Where's the Vale of candy and hugs? I want that one. So
I'm reminded of the house in Once Upon a Time.
oh, actually, I watched a handful of episodes
right.
of that, but didn't commit to it.
I've got survival, and both myself and would the other ranger know what that is? Is that a Yeti, or is that
You
something
know it's
different?
nothing natural. Definitely, it's nothing. It's no natural animal that you've heard of before.
Someone's been worrying. Could we actually set up like a tripwire around the camp, so if someone tries to run in and hack the tent, they trip up?
Well, you are. First off, you don't have any wire with you, so you could set up rope, I suppose, and hope that people don't notice. But you'd be like, there's not trees you could tie it between, so you'd have to be
I see
setting.
what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's just
It's a good idea. Like if there was a clear point of entry to here, if this is a camp in a forest or something like that,
or gully. Yeah.
yeah, just like for
Okay,
here, it's tricky to do that. Does anyone have set snares as their proficiency? Yeah, Falcarel does, so he could try and set something up. And what I'd say is that if there are random encounters, I would give a random chance for it to trigger. It's just the nature of the terrain here makes it kind of that they can come from any direction. Once you get into the mountains, I imagine that will be easier.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, fortunately, in spite of the cackling, and would someone give me a D5 roll, please? What are you guys having for your meal for tonight? Is there...
We've
Okay.
still got some fish, I believe.
Yeah, we've got rations from reindeer rams left.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, the reindeer and the fish. I think probably we'd want to use up.
So nothing special?
Well, we never really said we had gourmet cooking supplies with us. I assume we've got like salt. I've got camp gear, but with me.
And
But
we don't have dormant, so
If Kevin,
does someone want to look at some herbs?
Yeah, I think if Kevin's going where I think he's going with this, I will bring out some of the ale and specifically offer it to Longclaw, and make and make a bit of a show of it and say, welcome. We haven't had a proper opportunity to welcome you to our little group.
So I'm going to say that after tonight's enjoyment of that and the previous one too, half of the ale is gone now. Because we haven't really been tracking how that's been going down, but I know there's been a couple of times you shared ale with the dwarven refugees or the ragged refugees. You shared them with Longclaw or Ostin when he joined, and you shared him with that. So I think half of the ale supplies are gone now.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
Well, start rationing that.
Okay.
And,
but yes,
sorry.
then this definitely counts for recharging the ring, so you get another charge back on your ring.
Okay.
Okay. Then, Falcarel, you are keeping watch. Let's turn to music, something different here.
And it's only 4 charges, guys. Just especially for Dave. I need I think I need 8 at least, or 10. Let me see here. I need 10 for restoration. So we're a ways off.
Yeah, I think I'm 3.
Yeah, well, I've still got 3 stats down.
Me too. So
Okay.
With the glaive with the +2 dex, if I get my dex back, I'm going to be pretty awesome. I must check whether I've got any spare specializations left. I don't think I used them all up. But I need to check actually my skill ranks. You don't get anything at 7th, do we?
You have to check your PHP.
Yeah.
Does that +2
back
count
then.
when you're just carrying the glaive?
So in AD&D, is it that all magic weapons have to be at least a +1?
Yes. So this one is
Or
not.
am I-
It does not count as a magic weapon for the
it's
purpose
just
of like.
that, because I was reading the party loot. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah. It depends. Like in AD&D, the way it works is that the different creatures, it'll be like certain pluses are needed. So like low-level monsters that are affected only by magical weapons it's a +1 will suffice against them. But like things like Balors, like massive ancient demons, you'll need something like +3 or higher. Maybe it's even higher. The old Planescape thing here, and it opened right up to Balor. Look at that. Almost like I've been planning to. I mean, I'm not planning
Almost like
anything
you've
with the Balor guys.
Reading it before bed every night, imagining how you feel characters.
Soon, my precious.
he would be a welcome change.
Yeah, Balor needs a +3. But I mean, look at that. It's Tony DiTerlizzi art in there too. Look at that thing.
You know, Kev, with all the cold that we've been suffering, I would fight a Balor right now just for a toasty night.
Let's see if I can dissuade you. Armor class.
My problem.
-8. Thaco is 7. 70% magic resistance. And what is the aura? Their flame aura does 4d6 flame damage per round.
I'm not that eager to get warm.
Okay, yeah, I'll stay cold for a while.
Are you guys sure? I got the book out anyway, if you want. I mean, no?
I mean,
Yeah, I can remember seeing the original write-up for Orcus.
Yeah.
No, Demogorgon.
Yeah.
Which made Stranger Things a little weird, because normally Demogorgon was, well, how do you want to die? Was the description.
Absolutely. But I mean, it also captures the way that we all played D&D back in the day, which is to say, not by the rules. So, that...
we're
Speak
playing
for
by the
yourself.
rules.
What's wrong with a second level character and a +5 Vorpal sword? Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So then, guys, what happens is, Lex, you are on watch. And were you guys doubling up watch, or are you guys just having...
Doubling up was the plan.
We're gonna double up.
So if you're doubling up, that means you're going to be extending the amount of time you need to sleep, and then you're going to need to prep spells. So are you planning on just staying in camp all next day?
Well, there's 4 of us, and then Ostin and Longclaw.
Yep.
So that's 6. What if
That's
we
like
just did
2-hour well, you'll need 10-hour watches with going individually. If you're adding it to so one extra person's losing sleep, that's like 2 other. That's about 14 hours of watch.
So how long do we have to sleep for?
14 hours in total. 12 hours in total.
Okay, so that each person can get 8.
Yep.
Well, maybe.
And is there a requirement that's to recharge spells or whatever that you require a full uninterrupted, like a minimum number of uninterrupted hours sequentially?
No, you can keep watch. At least, I mean, I can't remember.
I can't do 2 hours up, 2 hours down, 2 hours up, 2 hours down. That doesn't strike me as very.
No, you would take it in chunks. Like if there's basically, you would be doing 4-hour watches.
Cole's gonna also sit up to do first watch.
Okay, so then who is watching with Lex then?
Well, I think that's me, right?
It's cool. Okay. So you guys are up when you can see again on let's see here. Who Lex, why don't you give me a D10 roll, please?
I just put two, three pairings in there. If that's all right. You guys don't use.
Oh.
So one downside with Longclaw, you can't speak to the bear. Only Ostin can speak to a bear.
That's fine. I don't need to speak to him. If there's a fight, he fights. If there's not, he sleeps.
Except if Longclaw is trying to tell you, quietly that he hears something that you can't hear yet, he has no way to do that in a way that you can understand.
I see what you're saying. So Ostin and Longclaw.
You know what I'll allow though, is because you've got that ranger ability with animals, I would actually let you make a wisdom check to try and understand precisely what he's trying to tell you. Because you do have a lot of, that wild empathy thing, that definitely gives you that connection, and this is an opportunity to let that match that class ability be cool. So,
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So then, it's you were on watch with Longclaw when the bear kind of, and I'm picturing him kind of curled up like dog style next to the fire. So he's kind of like soaking in the extra heat when his big massive head gets up. And kind of looks over, and you see his big nostrils are, kind of flaring as if he's sniffing something. And you don't need to understand that, you don't need to make a check to see that. Obviously, his keener senses are picking up something that you are not.
Yeah. So I can step away from the fire and use my infravision.
Okay. So you step out of the fire, and he as you kind of start stepping away, he looks over at you and kind of like, roar, as if questioning. What are you doing? What do you need me to do?
Wisdom check?
Yeah, please.
Double check. 14.
I think your wisdom's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 14.
14, okay. Nice. Yeah, that's exactly what he's asking. So
what's going on?
Yeah, he's asking you what's going on and what you need him to do. He lumbers and gets the full weight of his body up.
Lex will just, so he's already right up, so Lex will just be like, stay here.
Okay.
And Lex will just kind of circle the camp, looking with his infravision and...
Sure. Give me a move silently check, please. You're wearing that heavier armor, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be silent.
Okay. Let me see if it spots you then. Okay, so what you do is you make your way around, and then you can hear next to that same apparatus that you guys have set up. Until you tell me otherwise, I'm going to assume that you're setting up that Cragcat thing each night.
Yep.
You can see once again there's now that same thing that Falcro described. Is batting at the food.
Okay.
Oh shoot, Lex, did you say that only you and Longclaw are on watch now? Or, did you? Because I had said that I was up with you.
Yeah, just me and
was I relegated now to? Oh, okay. I had an idea, but okay.
So I put Cola down with Ostin.
All right. I kind of wanted. Okay, it's fine. We'll have to do it another time.
So, what you also can see, Lex, is as I described for Andrew before, there's a ragged necklace that hangs around this thing's neck, and it's the only color in otherwise perfectly white fur, and it has set into it a chunk of black ice. And this thing's grabbing part of the, one of the fish and kind of like is chewing on it. It's the knucklehead trout too, so it's not gonna be able to break the bone, so it's kind of like gumming it and getting all the meat off of it and getting the rest of the bones.
Okay. Lex will just watch it, and he'll go back up a little bit towards Longclaw and see if this is the direction that Longclaw was kind of paying attention to. Where's Longclaw?
You can see Longclaw illuminated by the campfire in the falling snow, and
Is he
he's
watching this, or is he looking something else?
he's looking directly towards that direction. His his ears are up, you know.
Right, Lex will just I'll continue around the camp and do a complete circle, and then come back to the fire.
Okay, so you
It's
come
just
back.
eating food. I'm not going to care.
Yep. Okay, so you get back to the fire, and with the once the when I guess first off when you walk back in, Longclaw kind of looks over at you, and you don't need to make a roll again. Like you're able to communicate, and he's got that look of like, and
Lex just kind of lets him, hand down, like you can go back to resting if you want.
okay, so it lumbers around the fire and then drops down, close enough to start warming itself by the fire. Apart from that, when it is time to change shifts, or shortly before, Lex, before you go and wake whoever the next person on watch is, you make your way over to the stand, and you find that all the food is gone, and there's just the chewed head of the knucklehead trout left.
Does that mean the valuable parts are still there?
Yeah, actually, if you're looking for the value, knucklehead trout it's the thing that brings everyone else up here, so it's sort of helped you a bit. It's not like clean, but yes, definitely the most valuable part of the fish is still there.
Okay, I'll just scoop that up and bring it back to the fire and toss it down. We'll clean it later if we have to.
Sounds good. So apart from that, now do you mention that to the next people on watch? And who are the next in your order that you had there? Who's the next one?
Tom and Falcaro.
Tom and Falcaro. Okay, so do you mention anything to Tom or Falcaro about having seen the Yeti?
Yeah, so I saw the little baby Yeti just eating the food again. I don't know if that's going to appease the crag cat or not, if it comes looking for food and it sees the food eaten. But maybe we'll have to find a way to... maybe we leave some...
Right. I'll have a ration ready so that if the crag cat turns up, we can,
Okay, might want to have a few.
walk and back away.
Might want to have a few. The crag cat was eating like 4 or 5 rations last time. But
Oh,
what I
cool.
was saying is
Yeah,
maybe
it's
we
not
leave some out at a lower level if that little thing's going to keep coming back, and maybe put something at a higher level that,
Yeah, I
crag
don't think
cat-
the trees we can do that with though. But okay, well, we'll keep an eye. Yeah, I'll make sure we have 2 or 3 rations if the crag cat turns up.
Cola's sleeping, but if he were awake, he might say something like, "It doesn't really matter what level the food is at. The crag cat's gonna just take whatever's there. It might be better to have the food. Like if you want to feed the Yeti, it might be better to just hold on to whatever you're gonna feed the Yeti.
If Cola's
He's sleeping. He's sleeping.
can't say any of that. Speaking of Cola sleeping, no. Yeah, and one other weird thing. I'm pretty sure I saw the glint of black ice on a necklace that the Yeti's wearing, like a ragged necklace with black ice on.
Well, we saw a ragged crag.
Here, so I
Oh,
will
guys,
have to,
guys, hold on.
One
Only
at a time.
one of you can talk at a time. Otherwise, we can't understand what you guys are saying. If you hear someone else talking, stop talking, and then you guys pick an order to talk in, okay? So go ahead.
So, well, Tom's got to go. So,
Okay.
Falcaro will tell Lex that we saw that berserker in the cage at the Yeti camp. Did he have his black ice on him?
I wasn't really paying attention. It was just a berserker. I just put it out of its misery.
I was wondering if maybe the no, those are ice trolls though.
Oh, well, it could have got it anywhere, really. Like, there's lots of raggeds around and some that have perished, but it's just odd that it, a Yeti child wearing a ragged necklace with black ice.
Do we know if Yetis decorate themselves like that? Is that something of common knowledge?
No,
We haven't seen any.
they don't have any real they're intelligent, but they don't have need of any tools or make art or anything like that.
Which makes me wonder about what Ostin said about it being a spy. And obviously, it might not consciously be aware if it's a spy or not, but if it is being controlled by black ice, like we've seen,
I'm wondering if we shouldn't pin the thing down and get that black ice off of it and let it go on its way. Because it can't be good for it.
What has it been doing so far? Because you guys be thinking, as rangers, you'd be thinking this in terms of
it's just been surviving. Really.
Animal behavior.
It's been eating. It's been following us around because we're giving it food. It's just acting like an animal for the most part, like a creature. So, I agree that if we maybe tomorrow you set up some snares near the thing, and hopefully we don't catch a crag cat. We catch the Yeti, and we can take that black ice off it. It might not be very happy at first, like the dwarves were, but it'll sort itself out.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what we should do, is get that thing off of it and then bury it somewhere nobody gets it. Maybe sink it in the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Falco and Tom will take up watch.
Yeah, you guys take your watch, and then is Cola and Osun, are they the last or are they the first?
They'd be say about dawn, they could be the last ones up.
Well, I just can't remember what order that Dave put it in.
I think at one point, actually, halfway through Falcrol and Tom's watch, you'll suddenly see, or not see, but Cola's going to go and wake up suddenly, and just in a and it hyperventilates for a couple seconds. Falcro, you'll see, I'm going to come out of the tent that's halfway through your watch.
Falco will watch him kind of stoically. Say, is everything all right, Cola?
Just there's some trouble sleeping, that's all.
It's understandable. We had a visit from your Yeti friend.
At that, I perk up. Oh.
Yeah, he ate some of the rations we leave out for the crag cat.
Yeah, he has a tendency to do that. Anything left?
Just the bones from the knucklehead trout.
So, how long ago was this?
I think midway through Lex's shift.
Oh.
Falco does not mention the black eyes. He's kind of waiting to see if Cola says anything leading towards it.
It's funny because Lex doesn't know that Cola would doing anything out of the ordinary, so he just told Falco because hey, I know this, no big deal, and I'm going to bed now because
exactly.
As far as Falco knows, Cola's the only one that's had touched it, and he noticed behavior shift, so he's testing a theory. So.
Yeah, Cola just quietly sits, but he just kind of stares at the food. Actually, his eyes just kind of find their way naturally to where we leave food out for the crag cat.
Snow is falling around all of you guys. The fire is crackling.
The bears are snoring.
Yeah. Yes. With his watch over, Longclaw is snoring next to the fire.
So I guess Falcor will just do like some small talk between him and Cola about where their gods are leading them, and keep the strength up, and we've got to watch over our allies.
I think. Let me just try something here.
I think what Osten will say when he gets up on watch is, if Cola's up 2 hours early, he'll let Cola sleep for the last 2 hours so that you guys can all start prepping your spells at the same time. It'll be daylight. Well, actually, it won't be daylight, but it'll be pre-dawn because it's winter. The nights are long and cold.
Cola engages with you in conversation quite normally.
Okay. That goes to mollify Falcor a little bit.
I figured I'm going to leave it up to chance, and we'll see.
Okay. So then, guys, the rest of the evening proceeds. There's nothing else eventful that happens. Osten gets up. When he sees just how haggard that Cola looks, he says that he'll keep watch himself, and will awaken you if you need it.
I don't need sleep.
To commune with your gods, you do. One needs to think in these lands, you must think the burden you make for others. Sleep, Cola.
Alright, fine. Oh, I'll begrudgingly drag my sorry ass back to bed.
Okay. So then, guys, the evening otherwise passes, as I said, uneventfully, and the dawn comes with high winds, with heavy falling snow. What do you guys wish to do today? So cross off another 6 rations now. Actually, shit, Longclaw's going to take 2, because he's a large-sized creature.
Yeah, Valkryl's going to start digging into the iron rations on his end.
Okay. Now...
We can go hunting again.
Well,
And
there's
we
the
also-
river right there. Ocean will go fishing as well, too. Just give me a sec here.
We know if Cola's taking Identify, or if we have to try and track down that ice troll area.
So for the travel for today, the reason I mentioned the heavy snow, or I asked what you're doing, is because you guys can make your way up into the mountains, but with the heavy snow, there's going to be fatigue checks involved.
Okay.
So if you intend to do, it looks like the longest you guys need, Cola needs almost 2.5 hours to prep. Falcor needs 1.5 hours to prep. So if you're sleeping 2 hours later, that's like 9 you're getting up. It's an hour of getting things ready in the morning from 10 until, so that's like 12:30. You guys will be prepping spells.
Lex will go hunting while they're memorizing spells.
Sure. Give us a percentile roll.
I'll,
Okay. Let me just check for the fishing as well, too. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Would you give me 2d6 roll, please? Nice. So 5 fish. And I think a fish is half. Yeah, 1 fish per half daily ration. So you get another 2.5 rations from yesterday's fishing, because Osten was fishing while you guys were gone. And then today at dawn does give me a 1d8 plus 2 roll.
And just to note, Cola's carrying capacity is back down to 70.
Okay. So you have... Well, you do have access to the rams now, so you can offload some of that weight onto them.
Yeah.
So you get another 7 fish this morning.
Okay.
So he is... so that's another 3.5. So in total, 6 rations. You get...
How are we for rations in general?
we've got, as of now, 22 rations of just meat, and then 27 iron rations.
Oh, okay.
Did you subtract the 7 you needed for today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Then subtract 1 firewood for today as well,
So
too.
6 per day. Well, we need 10 a day, 4 for the Crag Cat, and the 6 for each of us. Actually, we need 11 because Longclaw, or 12 because Longclaw and Osten each take 2.
The crackhead only comes every couple days, as far as I've noticed. So
Right, but the Yeti's taking some too. So effectively, we're losing a dozen rations a day. So we've got about 50. So that's like 4 days, 3 or 5 days worth of food.
mm-hmm.
Huh?
Game it will be more scarce in the mountains.
Yeah, I am preparing as my second. I had Cure Blindness for my second, 3rd level spell. I'm going to swap it out for Create Food and Water.
Okay.
Good choice.
So,
Well,
because
we're not-
water
we're not-
we don't really need, but the food.
We're
will
not
be-
really there yet, though. You could take that spell in 4 days. It's up to you, but I'm just saying, like, we've got 4 days worth of food. You don't really need to take it for the next couple of days.
Yeah, that's true too. I could take a second prayer.
I have a prayer prepared, so we only need.
Okay, so
One
we've each got 1. Then I can keep with the cure. I've been keeping the Cure Blindness because of our encounters with those. I
Cold Light
forget
Walkers?
what they're called now, but the Cold Light Walkers.
Yep.
Just in case we find them again.
Now,
Okay, then
one thing I'll mention as well, too, just as because this is one of the ways the AD&D and the optional rules I use for AD&D 2nd differ from modern games. When you identify objects, that's when you get the XP from getting them. The
Right,
reason
we have two objects to identify still.
Oh,
Yep.
I see what you. Oh, see, you're trying to entice me to.
No, I want to make sure there
we
is
identify-
definitely an incentive to it, but there's a reason for that incentive. The reason is that you do get a pretty sweet benefit. Most of your XP comes from loot more so than from killing monsters.
Right, but but I guess the other key feature, like if I'm willing to take the Constitution hit for the day, which if we're not going anywhere may not necessarily be a big deal. What level? It's a wizard level spell. Identify what level? Is
Level
it?
1. For ours, we'll treat it as a level 1 divination spell for priests.
If I'm willing to take the hit to my Constitution, if we identify stuff and I get the XP immediately, then it takes effect immediately, depending on how much experience it could be.
Well, no. Hold on. Like, you don't get XP. Like, there's at the end of the session you get XP. It's not like.
Oh, okay.
No.
The way you worded it, it sounded like you get you said when you identify spells, that's when you get the XP. That's so I sorry.
That session.
In this session.
Yeah.
In this session. So if we don't identify those spells today, then they stay again unidentified till the next session.
Right,
And
okay. Sorry, I misunderstood.
No, that's okay. I want to make sure you understood how it worked differently in this.
Because if my understanding had been correct, I was like, well, there's even more reason for me to try it now, because if I could have a chance of getting up to level 6 at the beginning.
Yeah, no.
Actually, if you cast that today and you don't feel good going into the mountains with low con, we can just hang out here for a day and then go.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if we're going to be camping out and, like, getting up our food rations and stuff, I can do this. I can do some herb checks and stuff. And then I can rest.
I could set up a snare for that.
To be honest, it's not also all on you. Falcrill is fully capable of casting this as well. Both of your gods have access to the divination sphere.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've just been from explicit spheres.
No. It's you guys both have minor access to divination, so it's a first level divination spell. Either of you guys can do this.
Any sphere that you have minor in, you get spells up to level 3. Any sphere that you have major in, you get all spells.
Yep.
I didn't think I had divination minor, but I can double check.
Yep.
Well, also,
I checked beforehand.
Okay.
Explicitly make this available to us because we don't have Grim all the time.
Exactly. Because the game requires you to identify magic items in this very specific way, and the only way that you can do that seems to be, like, it doesn't make sense for races that cannot cast, that can't be mages. It would mean that, like, dwarves would never be able to cast an identify spell.
Yeah. And even still, like, I know at least in the Icewind Dale 5th edition book, I assume the same goes true for the D&D Next Adventure. It's quite explicit that the 10 towns does not even have that many magic users. There's like one per 100,000. There's one per 100 people, and it's low-level magic. So we're not even gonna have access to a high-level wizard that can identify shit for us. Yeah. So it's a conceit that makes sense.
Yeah.
So okay, I will take a first level spell slot for identify today, so I'll remove one of the cure light wounds if we're not going anywhere.
And what Cola's level 5 or level 6 right now?
I'm level 5.
Okay, great. So that means you would have so you can try and identify with one casting. It takes you 8 hours to cast it. It will identify 5 items, and you have 50% chance of identifying each.
Okay. All right. So, guys, what are the items? Let's prioritize. What do we want?
I think there
You
is.
have 5 items?
And this is what I'm doing today. Like, I'm not going to be able to do herb checks or help hunting or anything. This seems like it's a full day thing.
Yeah, it won't be until 8 at night that he can actually conclude the ritual. To do that, then he'll need a full night's rest to get his con back.
So what that means is we don't need to go out of our way to do extra stuff and incur random encounters.
Okay.
So we've got a...
Yeah, please don't go...
Lex, I don't know about that. Maybe we need some extra XP, or...
Lex, let me tell you something right now. You go out there and you get yourself hurt in another... fighting off some werebears or something like that.
we cut to...
I got nothing for you till tomorrow morning.
So we cut to Lex with putting the, putting it a little too fine point on it, with him picking up a piece of wood and poking at Longclaw. So you're literally poking the bear.
do that.
All right. Okay. So then, for the rest of you guys, what are you doing with your day? We've had someone can look for firewood as well too. you would need to go out. Well, that one might draw an attack of opportunity, a chance for a random encounter, because normally you just encounter them when you're traveling, and you're not traveling today. So
We've got 7 days of firewood. We don't need to go find any today.
okay, so you don't need that. Osen, you want Osen to fish today? That will not draw attacks of opportunity. It will not risk random encounters.
The fish start fighting back.
Rawr, yeah.
Do that? Could we do that and hunt?
Well, he can. Osen,
I can hunt again later in the day.
Yep. He tried in the morning and did not find anything. Osen will not participate in hunting anyway.
Well, I mean, Lex and I could go hunting, and it'll.
You could. Yep. Yeah, Lex is already gone for the morning. You were prepping your spells, so.
Yeah.
Okay then. So, Cola, do you want to make your rolls to see what you find here?
So, okay, so what do we... I'm looking in the party loot. It seems that we've still got the ragged hide armor.
Yep.
The mask.
Yep.
I think... Is that it?
I think that's it. Unless the cracked spyglass or the
The wallet.
Those were not magical.
Do we still have... There's that chest, enchanted chest that we don't have a key to open. Did we identify what that chest is, or is there any use in doing that? Because if I've got up to 5 things that I can look at, I'm just trying to maximize what I do.
That chest was in a room with a sleeping orb, apparently.
Yeah, the thing throwing lightning at us.
Oh yeah, we didn't remove the chest. It's just...
Yeah. The one chest he did take, I think Falcarol broke it open, and then
that's true.
book inside was reduced to...
I give them the opportunity to have somebody else do it.
I'm seeing on notes for session 41. That's where we got the wallet with the tools, oil of sanctuary, and that's where we got the armor and the mask. There was also a scroll and a tube. And it says it was arcane, but I don't know if that was later identified or not.
Yeah, because Grim has that Ioun stone that constantly casts read magic. So he was normally need to cast read magic in order to identify a scroll. He already did that, so he's got that on his thing. Yeah, it's the set of set of hide armor, and then there's the mask, that dark colored mask.
Okay, so it's really just the two.
Yep.
Just the 2 things.
So what are you guys thinking? Which is first?
Let's go with the armor.
Okay.
All right.
Make it Lex 2 duds.
So give me a percentile roll. 50% chance of successfully identifying this armor.
All right, here we go, guys.
Nice.
Eh?
Okay.
Eh?
This guys
Ding, 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 ding.
We don't need no sneaking mages. I mean,
is a hide armor +2, and it has the ability to once an hour to flare out with sparks sufficient to light something. Light a torch, light a campfire, something like that.
Or just, give an unwanted, or a way to discourage unwanted attention from,
Indeed,
whoever.
yeah. So that's what that does. It's an hide armor.
Let's see here. That is AC 8.
Cola just kind of hands it over. Falcarol, you take a look at this one. I don't have any interest in this.
He kind of like raises an eyebrow and snorts in the cold air and taps his dwarven banded mail.
Yeah. So
I trust this guy in that.
hide is a base of 6.
As well
which
you
means,
should, Falcarol. As well you should.
So hide is a base of 6 with the magical modifier. It means it's AC 4 before you apply your dex modifiers.
So with a +4 dex, I could have AC 0 like I'm wearing banded mail, but also be able to use my move silently, hide in shadows, and other ranger abilities.
Which should go to Lex.
Aye.
Well, what's the mask? What's the mask?
Yeah.
Try that.
Well, just patience, the half-elf. I'm working here.
Very draining work.
This is delicate. This is delicate work.
That was Dave the player telling us to let's not get ahead of him.
Okay, go ahead and give us a percentile roll. See if you successfully identify this mask.
Falcarol likes the damage reduction.
Oh, no.
Nope.
I assume that the 5 items have to be separate items. I can't try 3 more times on the
You
one
can
item.
try again tomorrow if you like.
But Falcarol, you took
Something-
this spell too, right?
Can we do Astonishing Fortune?
not on these rolls, no.
No, I didn't prepare it.
Come on. I guess we're sitting here for another day.
You guys could be napping in the tent together today.
So then,
And then Lex he feeds one of them the potion of love.
No.
so for the time being, then Lex, are you taking this this ragged tribesman armor?
Yeah. So, are you guys? Is anybody else interested?
Please. As if I'm gonna put anything else on that's not made by a dwarf.
When Falcaro likes the DR, I'm guessing, from Bandit.
Yes.
He does.
Okay, so is there nothing else you all have that you want identified? Anything? Window is closing. Shop's closing. I get 3 more things.
So Lex has 17 more hit points than Falcarol. So even if he loses the DR, having the same AC and being able to use his ranger abilities would mean that I don't have to keep swapping armor back and forth. And if we want someone to go scouting, I can just go right off the bat.
Your climb check will also be dramatically improved as well with hide as opposed to banded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Lex is going to swap out his dwarven banded masterwork for
Nice.
hide armor.
And the hide armor, because it's magical, it will also be 10% lighter than what hide armor is. And that one will round up.
And that is another benefit because Lex doesn't have a lot of strength.
Yep, see? All points to Lex.
Yeah. What is it's a snowcat, or what was the type?
You mean the actual what the hide is?
Well, you said it was like a ragged tribe. It was like a snowcat or something like that.
Oh, the accents that are on there. Yeah, it suggests it's from a tribe that venerates the crag cat or something like that. It could be a tribe that's no longer in existence. Remember, the big tribes are the tiger, the wolf, the bear, and I can't remember the tiger. What did I say? Tiger, wolf, bear, elk. Those are the 4 that are the major ones. It's just 100 years ago, with Akar Kessel attacking, it kind of devastated the tribes. So many of those minor ones were annihilated. So normally it's 30 pounds, so it's actually 27 pounds instead there, Dave, for the hide armor.
Okay.
As opposed to... Oh, actually, you know what? That makes it the same... No, oh, I'm a dummy. What did I say, 27? Did I say 27?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 8 pounds lighter than the banded. Pretty good. All right. Guys, with those identified, let's take our mid-session break. And maybe Tom will be back, or Mo will be back by the time we finish up. So let's take our break here, guys. We'll refresh our beverages, and then take our bathroom breaks. And check in with chat when we get back. Oh, Mo's just back in time. 2 minutes. Yeah, no problem. Okay, then 5 minutes, and we will be back momentarily.
Am I spelling ragged correctly? There's nobody there.
Okay, back.
Welcome back.
Well, this may be the last time I have to do this, but still. Oh, we're having a break. Yeah. Next weekend I'm in hospital again to have a proper look at the foot and have a surgical intervention, I think.
Uh-oh.
Well, I may not make the Sunday game.
Yeah, I imagine not.
Oh no, they're keeping me in at the weekend just for recuperation. So. I can get rid of my injection line.
That's fun.
Well, it's better than having a cannula.
Kind of curious what that mask does.
Well, somebody should
The
have
idea is
taken
we-
identify.
We're going to take a trip back to identify those.
Oh no!
So I identified the hide armor, which gives Lex a whole bunch of awesome abilities. So that's going to him. I failed. I came so damn close. That 56 you see, that was my roll to try to identify the mask. It's 4 points off.
If the weather's bad enough tomorrow, we stick out another day. I can try to prepare.
Yeah.
Identify tomorrow.
Yeah, if the weather's bad, we might as well stay put. It doesn't make a lot of sense to try to travel.
Yeah, well, especially if some of us then muff our rolls and we end up getting exhausted.
Yeah. Just gonna start worrying about food. If our hunting doesn't go well.
Well, as I said, like, I'll take.
I think we do have some iron rations left. I've certainly got some left.
Yeah.
We got a lot.
And while you're gone, Tom, I realized that as an Allegor, I have access to one of my minor spheres is creation. So I can take create food and water, which gives us I think one cubic foot of food that'll spoil in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So like it specifically says it doesn't taste particularly good, but it is highly nourishing. So it'll be more than enough to keep us, from starving.
Yeah.
I think that's 1 cubic foot per level. Check it out.
Says the disembodied voice of Dave from off camera.
Yeah. Dave's character in the Night Below has cast that spell a few times. So.
Okay, let me double check here.
Yeah, Falkrul, being a specialty priest of Solinar, he's got a somewhat limited access to magic, the spheres, because his special priests are literally called rangers. So.
Dave is correct. 1 cubic foot of food per level. So I can cast I can create 5 cubic feet of food. That's a ton of freaking food.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cubic
Well,
foot.
that's 5 by 5.
A cubic
Yeah, that
foot.
is a lot.
So yeah, 5.
It's 5 1-foot cubes.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah,
like.
if you imagine that laid out, that's
Yes,
certainly
like we could each eat like a quarter of one of those, and be satisfied for a meal. So, I think that would give us each 3 square meals a day.
Yeah, I think it's like 3. It'll feed 3 people of medium size for 1 day per cubic foot. So, maybe 4. And we are in a high calorie environment, so.
yeah. I mean, we need more than.
Yeah, here we go. Each cubic foot of the material sustains 3 human-sized creatures or 1 horse-sized creature for a full day. So I can feed 15 human-sized creatures per day with this spell right now.
12 human size and 2 of the bears.
Well,
We have been
yes.
counting for the rams in terms of food.
Well, yeah, but I think the point is, at my current level, I'd be able to create enough food for all of our party, plus the Rams and Longclaw and Austin every day without
And then-
difficulty.
The 1500 experience, and that'll be.
It'll be
Six
another 5 people. Pretty soon, I could feed an army, or at least a band of bandits.
Well,
All right.
Again, it's not gonna be gourmet. It's not gonna taste good, but it will ensure we don't starve.
Hey, so what else we got here? So Ice King and Brian again. Good morning. Ben, morning. How do I work the weather out? It is part. No, it isn't in the campaign book. Ben, I use rules out of Pathfinder's Ultimate Wilderness. I just prefer the weather rules out of that to the Wilderness Survival Guide. But I use the Wilderness Survival Guide for most other things for my survival rules. And Patrick, thanks. Keep rolling those dice. Stay healthy, guys. Will do. Thanks, Pat. We're back right at you, too. Awesome. Oh, thanks, Ben. Yeah, I'm glad. I do like hamming it up with stupid voices. So, are you guys following the Wilder Act? They have been following the river for the last little while, for the last maybe week or so, I think, in game time. And they are making their way towards they're trying to get to a druid that apparently lives in the mountains to try and seek an ally against the White Witch. Their destination, if you can see on the map here, they originally came from way over here. This is the right here. This is the Lactinashir. And they came from there. Wait, is that Lactinashir? Let me zoom out. And then it's the Redwater. Yeah, the Redwater's down here. Lactinashir is up here. They started up following this. They got dropped off at the northern end here, and then started kind of cutting straight west along, and then started following, or east. Then started following the river, because their ultimate destination was here. That is a place called Evermelt. That is held as holy by all the Ragged Tribesmen, and the White Witch has apparently taken over that location with the assistance of the Bear Clan. Our heroes met up with Ostin and Outcast and Weirbear from the Bear Clan, and are now seeking allies with this druid. So, that is where we are now. The White Witch has... our campaign is a bit of a mix of mostly Legacy of the Crystal Shard adventure for D&D Next, and I'm incorporating some stuff from Rime of the Frost Maiden as well, too, because it's got some cool ideas for Icewind Dale, and an amazing map. I love this map. Alright, guys. So, we're all back. I am sad to say that nothing else happens today. There are no other nasty things that come and get you. It's just a matter of the snow. Andrew, did you turn your camera off, or did you... we lose him? Reconnect here. Is Andrew in the chat?
He is in Hangouts.
He's in the Hangout? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys lose him as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's snacking like me and didn't want people.
Oh, okay.
Discord says he just lost power.
Oh, lost power in his house?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
He just dropped from Hangout.
Oh my god, that's weird. I wonder if there's ice storms in in Ontario. Okay. Well, we'll see if he gets back or not. I know they just went back into lockdown too. That would suck. Going to lockdown and losing power in your house too. Jeez. Okay. So, well, we'll see if he comes back. Maybe just been a quick flicker of the light. And Cola has, although maybe he's gone, took an axe to the power line to avoid casting Identify again. The day otherwise passes uneventfully. Lex, you're going to make a second hunting roll for the evening.
I was going to go out with him.
Yep. I modified it accordingly.
Now I'm going out in my fancy new ragged hide armor.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, nothing either. No. Okay. So then, what I've done as well too, because you're in lighter armor now too, I'm going to assume that your ranger, you will not count as a person for hunting, so you can have you go out and not penalize, take the 5% loss or 10% loss or whatever it is. Falcarel is still in clunky armor, so You can't roll for firewood unless you're exposing yourself to a potential random encounter. Because you're not traveling anywhere, and you need to go somewhere to try and find it.
Yeah.
So what we said, Mo, while you were on your break, was that they decided not to do that today, not to risk the random encounter, because they knew that Cola was spending 8 hours preparing and casting the spell, and then 6 hours recovering from same.
Yeah. And we've got 7 days of firewood. Well, for now, so we should be good.
Yep. Okay. So then, guys, what is the plan for your next day? Actually, let's check with the weather. Dave, give us percentile rolls, please. Okay. So no precipitation today. The winds are dying down, and it is clear skies. So once again, the will of the White Witch has thwarted. Let's see if anything interesting happens today, too.
So I guess we'll be traveling that day then. So I
Yep.
won't prepare to identify.
Okay. Yes, you would see what the day was like before you make your decision. Well, it's your guys' call.
Well, Lex has weather sense, right? He could try to get a beat on it.
Yeah, I can try and get a beat on it the night
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, so you would have seen that coming. It would be a good day for travel.
So, Lex, don't forget about healing overnight.
Yep. You guys heal 3 points. I think Ostin. You guys, did anyone adjust Ostin's hit points?
I have not. I will.
Okay. So he'll be at full because he would have had 2 nights then of recovery. Okay. So then, guys, first thing is, Lex, you want to make a hunting roll for us in the morning?
Sure, while they're prepping spells.
Don't need to. Didn't cast any spells yesterday, so I'll go with you.
You can wear like studded or something.
It's no. He doesn't get a penalty from it. He just counts as a normal person. Like normally, as each additional person reduces the chances, but because Lex is wearing it, you guys don't take any penalties. Lex is you're a ranger and you're wearing armor that will allow you to access your move silent, so you don't count as a person. What you guys could do is bring a third person along. If Falcarol is wearing lighter armor, you could bring a third person along and not have either of you guys count towards the penalty.
Well, we both have the hunting version, so our shots count double. So we should.
But it's finding them first. That's the key.
Let's try a different direction.
Okay. Yep. So go ahead. No. Okay. All right. Then let's see here. What are you guys planning on doing now? Then you're gonna just hit the mountains.
Yep.
Try to make your way up.
Let's go find the druid.
All right. So, the benefit of having the nice clear days that you're able to see a lot further than what you normally can. And why don't you each give me a wisdom check, please? Let's see who rolls highest without going over their wisdom score, just so I know who spots something first. Okay, Falcarol's in the success range. Nice.
So that's a success.
Yep, but again, it's whoever rolls highest, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nice. So it's Lex. All right, so Lex, you are excellent. Okay, that sounds good. So you see, hey, look at that. Power's back.
Cover like a little house.
No, just a perch.
So I think it's only 10 minutes that Cola will need to prep spells, too.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Andrew.
Yep. Okay, let's reconnect here.
Yeah, of course, in the UK, I'm rather spoiled with weather. I mean, like an inch of snow is a huge amount down here.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm in Oregon. I wish I had snow.
No, we have
right
more than enough. I mean, the nice thing, to be honest, living in Calgary is we get, with the mountains right there, we get a wide variety of stuff. And we get that nice reprieve from winter with the Chinook winds. I often get headaches when they come in, but it's still nice to have, in the middle of the winter, it suddenly gets 5 degrees, so...
Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome back.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
It's price of stormy weather. Who knows? It's happening.
Did you guys get a nice storm?
No ice. No, not yet. We got
Okay.
snow, a light thing of snow last week. Yesterday we had some nice warm weather, so I took advantage of it and swapped the tires out.
Mm.
And I guess that was the right call because it's pretty windy and rainy out there right now.
Oh, gross.
So,
All right.
In game, we got a nice, bright, sunny day, low winds, and we're hiking up the mountain.
Nice. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you from casting the identify spell, like you're completely gutted. It just you feel sick. You feel like almost like hungover.
just so I'm like we're still at the same day. Like we're like if you
that
guys, what have you
that
done while
day,
I was...
you've had a full night's sleep and nothing happened during the night.
And
Okay.
you feel much better now.
What did happen
Well,
again?
he's
though,
saying that I'm feeling completely gutted.
oh, hold on. There is one other thing that you guys may want to prep for is the Yeti showing up. I'm assuming you're setting out the food again, but you guys did make a mention of perhaps setting snares and traps, or a snare to try and get them.
When Cola hears this, he's going to he shows interest in this. This makes a lot of sense. I could take first watch. Keep an eye out for this little guy.
Sure, I'll watch with you.
Well, I mean,
We'll mix it up.
I feel. Do we need two people on watch anymore? Yesterday we needed it because because Falcarol and I needed extra time to recuperate, and we thought that we wouldn't be able to do watch. But I think now we're all right.
Ocean says the doubling of watch was due to the trolls lurking in these lands. Was it not?
Yeah, we upset a dozen ice trolls and sent them running, and we're worried that there was going to be some kind of reprisal.
That's right. Thank you. I had forgotten that. He said suspiciously.
Yeah. Okay. So then, Falcarol, are you intent on setting some snares here?
Yes, for very specific reasons regarding a necklace that I did not share with someone.
Okay, so go ahead and give us a set. Nice. Okay, so it's successful.
Are we the second day? Did we try identifying the mask at all, or should I take identify today so that I can?
Well, this is the night before.
Yeah, it's the night before. So let's just back up for a second.
Wait, so I'm just confused. So is it the same day as I cast identify, or the next day?
The next day, the weather will be. Dave Lex successfully made the roll for weather sense, and it's going to be a beautiful cloud-free day without any kind of. Yeah, and you need 8 hours.
Good travel day.
Yeah, and you need 8 hours of rest. Your constitution is what right now with the -8?
Let me double check. Well, it was already down. Well, that was my dex that was down. It's 14, so -8. So I'm at 6.
Yeah, you may need to rest. It may. I mean, I'll leave it to you.
Normal... Sorry.
I was saying, it leaves you to make the decision as to whether. But I mean, like, you would look really sickly. So if Cola's like, "I'll take first watch," everyone would be like, "What are you talking about? You look like shit."
Maybe Cola shouldn't take a watch at all tonight because he's so beat up.
And if you have a nice day, you could get an early start to the.
Storm it, Lex. You don't even know what you're talking about. I will take first watch.
You can barely stand, dwarf. Come on.
What are you? Of course I can. As I say, as I'm like leaning on my axe.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine.
You're fooling nobody, Cola. Go take a nap. A long one, like maybe till tomorrow morning.
Cola says nothing more, and I go back into. I go into the tent.
Yeah.
Because you actually are exhausted.
Yeah, you're completely bagged. All right.
Yeah,
so,
I know. But
let's
before
see.
he goes into the tent, he takes one look back out, just generally in the vicinity of where we leave the meet.
Okay.
Before he goes in.
So then, Osin will take the final watch in the morning again, if you guys don't mind. And otherwise, you can split your watch the same way you did before. Lex and Longclaw will take the first, Falcor, Tom take the second, and then Osen will take the third while Cola recovers. And then, so, let's see here. Would someone give me a D3 roll, please?
Yeah, well, roll it. It's fine.
Okay, so it's Lex and Longclaw. This thing comes back again. We make a save versus breath weapon for this, see if it avoids the trap. Nope. So, Lex, you were keeping watch, and give us a D10 roll. Let's see if you guys are surprised. No. Okay. So you're keeping watch when once again, Longclaw, you know, his eyes are open the entire time, but he is lying next to the fire. But again, Longclaw's head kind of, you know, gets up, and he kind of growls low without opening his mouth, and looks off in the direction of where the meat is set again.
And I made a success on the wisdom check, and pretty obvious because we've gone through this before.
Yeah, you guys clearly are getting a rapport here now.
All right, so Lex will just, you know, wait, and I'll go sneaking off towards the snare and the food.
So you're starting to do that, but you don't even get beyond the limit of the firelight before you hear a crashing and kind of a call out. And something is clearly thrashing around in the darkness near where your where the meat is set.
Okay. All right. He heads a little faster. It's going to wake everybody up.
Okay. So you get up there, and Longclaw gets up and lumbers towards you as well, too. And as soon as you get beyond the firelight, your eyes adjust, and with your enhanced vision and the clear, you know, sky overhead, or mostly clear sky overhead with the Aurora Borealis shining down, you can see this Yeti tyke has its leg caught up in a snare that's secured to a python, and it's kind of like scrambling around trying to get itself free. And trying to yank at the leg, but it's not getting itself out.
Okay.
That necklace is still hanging around its neck.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to go back to camp and give Falcor a little kick.
Sure. Well, I want to do this. Tom, Cola, and Falcor, give me a D10 roll each, please. Let's see who slept through this. Cola, you're awake. Falcor, you're awake. Tom, you need a nap? Let's see here.
Yeah.
So a D10 roll, please.
Hang on.
Yep, you're awake as well, too. So all of you guys are awakened by the sound of this. Yeah, the cacophony coming from this trapped Yeti tyke. What do you guys all do?
Falcor's going to stand up and walk out and says, well, I caught something, it looks like.
Oh, well, it sounds like you can't see it yet. It's outside of the firelight will ruin your night vision.
Okay, well, I'm going to get out and go to where the remains of the campfire was.
Okay.
Cola's doing the same. I'm grabbing my axe as I go.
So the thing is Lex, if you're leaving it there, it may get free.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just try to calm it down. And
So how do you do that?
Get that ranger stuff, right?
well, it's not a natural animal though. So, but you know, rangers do have an affinity with creatures, so maybe it somewhat works.
So what do you do?
Let's approach it with I'll pull out like some iron rations maybe, and just, you know, kind of like, hey, calm down, you know,
Okay.
like, it's okay.
So you pull some of your iron rations out.
In gentle voice, and
Yeah.
you know, kind of move really slowly. Actually, I'll get down and I'll move slowly, but I'll kind of crouch down as I'm going, so I'm not so big and looming.
Okay. So as you're doing that, this thing, it tries to get as far away from you as possible, as much as the leash now attaching from its leg to the python will allow. And it's got it actually didn't even get to the meat So there's that meat hanging down from the trap, and when it sees your hand, actually, I'm just gonna roll randomly, see what its reaction is right now.
Would I have noticed meat before I gone for the iron rations?
Yes, absolutely.
Then,
Yep.
Yeah, then I won't bother pulling rations out. It probably wants fresh meat way more.
Okay, yeah. So you get over there, and as soon as you're going over there, it sees you going for the meat, and it kind of like forgets about the thing attached to its leg, and it kind of scrambles up onto all its two legs, and it's like, hey, yeah, kind of growling at you like you're getting near its food.
Yeah, and then so I'll make sure I'm not in range for it to attack me, and I'll take some food and throw a piece down to it.
Sure. You toss a piece down, and it kind of like it looks down at it, looks up at you. It skitters forward, grabs one, and then starts jamming it in its mouth. And it definitely gives you an opportunity to take the other 4 pieces of meat off if you'd like to.
I'll grab the other 4 while it's eating, and I'll breadcrumb trail it towards me.
Okay. So it's about that point when Falcarol, Cola, and Tom come walking up as well too, and it has reached forward, like with it still jamming one of its things, one of the first bit of meat in its mouth. You put the second one down, and it gets to the very limit of where it's the snare is, and it kind of like reaches its long forward hand forward, grabs it and brings it back, and is now jamming 2 of them in. And it sees you guys come up and kind of like skitters back on its butt until it reaches the length of the line.
Experimenting to see if it recognizes me at all from the first time, I'll kind of, exactly as I did the first time, put the axe into its holster and then put my hands up again, and in that same kind of voice go, whoa, 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 and like slowly approach.
Sure. So kind of like,
see if it comes down.
It seems to sort of recognize you. Actually, you can see him approaching.
To try to approach as long as it continues to act like that.
So you, I think Cola and Lex, you guys are about the same distance away right now, and now what it does is it sort of like jams the rest of whatever meat it's got into its tiny little mouth there, and tries to swallow it down, and then slowly, while it's doing that, it's inching closer to Lex with following the trail of food, and is looking back at you, Cola, while it's doing so as well.
Similar to last time, I'm gonna slowly take out a knife, and oh, now, little friend, we did this once before.
What do you need a weapon for?
Well, to let the thing out like we did last.
No,
it knows what I'm doing.
We deliberately set a snare. So look, it's got a black ice necklace on. We got to get that off.
When Lex mentions that, you'll see my eyes twitch a little bit.
So I think, and Falcarol, you walked up at this point, when his eyes shoot towards Lex, maybe it's a trick of the light, but it seems like there's no iris. Like his eyes are all pupil. Jet black. But then it passes.
And I shift my body weight a little bit.
Okay. The Yeti type seems to sort of shift to the side, to, again, kind of getting closer to where Lex is with the food, and is jamming the food in its mouth as it goes. Lex, it's probably about 3 feet away from you at this point.
I've lost interest in the Yeti tyke. Cola's acting weird. What the hell?
Okay.
What do you need the knife for, man? Put it away.
Well, it knows from last time that I would release it.
So Falcarol, you've come up, both Falcarol and Tom, you've come up right now too, and you can see this exchange is going between Lex and Cola. Lex still has 2 pieces of meat in his hand, and the Yeti tyke is like at the complete limit of where the snare will allow it to go, and it's trying to stretch forward to get that last 3 feet covered to get to Lex and the rest of the meat.
Without, so you mean to separate this creature from this medallion?
Well, yeah, black ice is bad. It corrupts.
You have your armor on, right, Falcarol?
I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna slowly put the knife away, not leaving. My eyes are still locked onto Lex. But I'm gonna move the dagger down to the area, like to my side, and just kind of like slip it into a belt. It's not its proper holster though, and that's the spot on the belt I slip the knife into happens to be just a couple centimeters away from my the latch that my axe hangs off of.
Okay.
So imagine almost like a Western holster, like a holster or whatever.
As you guys are doing this, John, why don't you tell them what they see?
So as you guys are talking, Falco had noticed the glint in his eyes, and he watches the two interchange, and then he slowly steps to the side while you two are going back, reaches down and snatches the necklace off its neck.
It skitters away from you, actually, with that thing off.
And he's going to try, because I don't know what the effect is, but he's going to try and hurl it as far as he can towards the river.
Okay. I don't think you can reach the river, but would you give me...
Just to get it away for now.
Yeah. Give me a save versus
Also
spell
present.
at plus 4.
Is that a good or bad for me?
Plus 4 is good for you. That is a benefit. Okay. You want to roll high when you make saves.
So whatever this is at 4.
Yep. Easily. Yep. Easily. You throw it away. And the Yeti kind of like... and watches it go.
Notice this? Well, I guess we noticed the Yeti. That's quite a commotion.
Yeah.
Do I see like so? Cola's eyes are going to go as soon as he hears the commotion. My eyes are going to go straight to where the Yeti's neck used to be.
Yep.
I assume I see the Yeti scrambling away. I'll then look immediately at Falcarol.
So the Yeti isn't actually moving. It moved away from Falcarol, but Falcarol was behind it, so it's now kind of moved a little bit away from Lex. It's probably maybe 5 feet away from Lex at this point, and further away from you, Cola.
Oh, is it still trapped in a...
Oh yeah, still locked. It's what Falcarol did is just get rid of the necklace.
Oh, okay, so I don't know that I've seen him throw it, but I see that the necklace is now gone, and I see Falcarol standing there.
Well, Falcarol would have done one of these, so we see that.
Cola,
okay. If I see it,
Cola, would you give me a save versus spells, please, and you don't get your dwarven bonus against this.
Okay, all right. Save versus spells.
See if you manifest into the black ice golem finally.
So my target, I'm aiming to get over the target.
Yes.
If I'm going to remove the modifier, it's probably better for me to just tell it to roll 1d20 over 15.
Okay. 2. So what Cola yells out? No! Where did it go? Where did it go? And this echoes out across the tundra, and the Yeti tries to get even further away from Cola.
And my eyes are darting between the creature and elsewhere. I look wide-eyed at you, Falcarol. Where did they go? What have you done?
I've put the black reach outside your grasp, Cola. Calm yourself.
Why would you? And Kevin, would I have any sense of the likely location or not location, direction in which he would have? Did I see him toss?
You were so focused on you were focused on Lex.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tense up, and I'm pulling my axe out.
What's wrong with you, man?
The Yeti is picking up the vibes here and kind of like skitters now farther away from you guys and is still trying to get itself free.
Where is it?
Falco will just step forward and lay a hand on Cola's shoulder, like not even trying to defend himself. It says, "Breathe, Cola. Breathe."
And Cola, you're back to your senses now.
I am?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, if that's the case, because as you approach Falcarol, like that axe is going up.
Mm-hmm.
But if Kevin says that my senses return to me, then instead it'll stop but you'll hear the leather tightening and rubbing up against as my grip is still very tight, and my teeth are gritting. Falcaro, I'm sorry. I don't know what. I don't know what just happened.
Seems like the black eye still has a hold on you, my friend.
Tom has also positioned himself kind of behind Cola, looming down on him and looking at a hard look at him, like, it's his best bouncer look.
Well, I'm not trying to be too obvious, but if it did kick off, I was going to try and effectively grab him and sort of restrain him. But
Yeah.
I'm not making it too obvious.
And resume an old dance that Cola and Thomas are
Yeah, I know.
familiar with.
Yeah. Lex, what are you doing during this while all this is going on?
Lex has just been watching, and then he saw the axe coming out, and so he's standing up now. He's ignoring the Yeti tyke, and he's like, "Well, my friend, you need to talk, because you're acting like you did when you were wearing that necklace."
So I think you, to free your hands, you probably drop that food to the ground, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll even toss it towards the Yeti tyke. It can eat while we're talking.
I'll let the axe slowly. I won't let it go, but I'm gonna let it fall down. Like my arms will fall down. I'll still
like
hold
a crestfallen batter.
Yeah.
Any chance you want to just maybe drop the weapon?
As if only noticing that for the first time that I'm holding my actual battle weapon when I thought I was holding a knife. You'll see me kind of look at it with a very puzzled expression, and I'll just let go of it. The head will just into the snow. It probably doesn't fall over. It's a damn heavy thing, so I'll just sit upright. And I just look at it, look at my hands, and look up back at Falcarol. What was that? But we were rid of it. We haven't encountered it since the mines? How would it still... I was cured of that affliction.
You see now that Ostin and Longclaw have, similarly to what Tom have done, have taken positions to try and take you down if necessary. And Ostin just says, "The grip of the White Witch and her black ice is pernicious."
But we haven't even seen it since when?
Falcarol,
Pirates?
Yeah, the pirates is unless he's encountered it since then. It was the last time
we faced the Black Ice Berserkers. Their weapons, they were cursed. Who buried those treasures?
I believe Falcarol was there making sure the bodies were interned.
I think I missed, Andrew the player missed that session.
Yep.
Well,
Cola's blocked it out as well too.
Yeah, and I think accounting for the scheduling bullshit that we're doing for this game, it makes sense that Cola would have been there, but maybe we could just say he had a cold and he was knocked out. He was completely unaware.
We should. And Ostin turns to I think to Lex, or I guess he turns to Longclaw. Longclaw roars something to him, and Lex, you can pick up what he says, because his head turns and kind of roars something to Ostin, and then he looks and you can tell, the look that his black eyes have right now fixed on Cola is one of predator and prey. And Ostin says, "Agreed," and you know what he's going to say before he says it?
No, we need to find another way. Cola's one of us. He's not.
Agreed.
He's not a... He's not a white witch. There's got to be a way to bring the power of the black ice from him.
Then we should search his belongings. See if he harbors the powers of the White Witch with him.
Sure, I agree to that. Cola, you don't want to know the other options.
Falkroll speaks up and says,
despite all,
the sailors didn't have any on them either. They were inflicted internally.
Wait a second. What was that?
player Andrew is like, does Falkroll really want to say that in front of the Bears?
He's going to say that.
So
Cola, in response to Lex, Cola will turn and look at Austin and Longclaw, like literally sizing them up and saying, perhaps I know what the alternatives would be. I have nothing.
Longclaw just roars as if, like, if there's any doubt.
I have nothing to hide that I know of in my belongings.
okay, well we'll verify that. Maybe we'll take this back to the tent, and Cole can empty all his pouches and stuff like that onto the ground.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
make
I
sure that
will,
we're-
in fact,
no black ice undies.
I'll pick up the axe of Lugder, and I will actually turn to Thomas and hand it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Lex
Thank
looks
you.
at the knife.
Take this, my friend, just in case.
Lex points at your knife.
I mean, you can have that too. Can't really do much with that against you lot.
Well, no, but still. If we gotta wrestle you down, I'd rather not have a knife jabbed into my ribs.
It's fair enough. My other axes are on Alehead, so they're out of the way.
All right, so we'll head back to camp. Alcohol, what do you think?
It's
Yeah,
still.
Alcohol, do we want to set this little guy free now?
Yeah, Falkroll will take care of the Yeti tyke, and
Actually,
also,
we just
Has
leave
there
him
been,
Yeah,
has there
there-
been any change in? I don't know that Cola would really necessarily be. This wouldn't be foremost on his mind, but I'm interested. Has there been any behavioral change in the Yeti tyke since we removed the?
I don't
It
know.
hasn't barely been that long. It took a while for the dwarves, didn't it? When we took their weapons and stuff away, it wasn't immediate. So maybe we need to leave it there for an hour or so.
Well, one thing that what did the Yeti tyke do when you threw the amulet?
scampered away from me.
Nothing really.
How does that compare to how you've seen other people react to the black ice?
Maybe
That's
it's
very
just,
interesting.
maybe it's just a pretty trinket and it's not really affected.
Mm.
No.
Cola's not in a capacity to analyze this in an intellectual way right now.
That's right. Lex and Falkrill and Tom can help.
Yeah, if you guys want to go search his belongings, I'll get the tyke free, and I'll also see if I can find the medallion and really get rid of it.
Okay.
Okay. Make sure you wear some gloves or something.
Oh yeah.
So when you, you felt the pull of this thing very, very faintly, Falkroll. You know, only like it would be being hungry and passing food that you know would not be good for you, and then just resisting it and waiting until you could eat something that's healthy. That's about the level of like the pull that it would have had on you, because it's only a very brief thing. You yanked it and threw it off, and you didn't have direct contact with the black ice itself.
Yeah.
The tyke, as soon as you cut it loose, it first scampers away from you, and then stops and looks back. And its eyes kind of go up to the one lingering piece of meat on the hanging from the rack.
I'll reach up and grab it, and then hold it out to him.
So he skitters kind of like cautiously towards you. Those big black and blue eyes looking up at you, and then it carefully reaches out and grabs it from you and kind of It skitters back a couple feet and starts chewing on it, but does not retreat.
Okay, I'll just watch it until it finishes the food, and then make my way slowly over to where area I threw that little amulet at.
Okay, it's following you.
Okay.
It's only about 3 feet tall as well, too. If it was fully erect, but it's sort of walking in that simian kind of hunch over way that Yetis move.
Okay, I'll start talking some nonsense words toward as I go to try to keep it distracted.
Okay, it's talking back too. You don't know what it's saying, but it's like.
A brief smile over my scarred face as I wander over.
So as you guys, we'll cut back to the people going back to camp. So Kola, having been stripped of his gear, you guys all head back. Osten and Longclaw will watch while Lex and Tom look through the gear. So you go through all of. You're going through everything that Kola has, pouches on his belt, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. It includes, I guess, dumping out quite a few, pounds of coins that are in there as well too.
When the coins, Cola's watching very carefully and goes, "Hey, Lex, we'll be watching those ones now."
Okay.
Lex laughs. What's yours is yours. I'm not taking it.
So, and as you guys are, as you finish dumping everything out, and you're going through it, and with the amount of stuff you guys have picked up over time, and the camping gear and stuff like that, and Kola's keepsakes and such, it takes you a little while to kind of dump everything out and slowly start going through it. Kola, you were the first one to see it. There's something that is wrapped up in an oiled cloth that you don't recognize. So before they notice it, you can see that there is a oiled cloth wrapped around something about maybe that big. You don't. Why is that in there?
In another game where I play a rogue, my first instinct would be try to snatch it, but I'm a priest, lawful good, kind of, and surrounded by 2 bears and a couple fighters in a small, cramped space. So, and I don't have my weapon. I made sure of that.
I'm going to.
So I'm going to be like, in the interests of honesty. Oh wait, But I can't see what it is though. All I see is it's. Do I get a? Because the attraction to the black ice is I don't really understand it yet. So is it? Do I have to physically see it and be conscious and aware of what it is in order to feel drawn to it, or would I feel drawn to this wrapped up lump?
Who knows?
Well, I mean, but that would change how I react, right? Like, I guess I'm asking.
I agree it would. Have I told you that you felt any attraction to it?
No. Okay. Fair enough. In the interests of honesty and transparency here, Lex, what's that? And I pointed out.
What's what? This?
That wrapped, that lump of something wrapped.
So there is an oiled cloth wrapped around this thing, and it feels hard.
Okay, can I use a stick to sort of like unwrap it just in case it is?
So Alexa, you're putting it down.
I hope
again?
it isn't.
Yeah, I'll drop it.
Okay, so you drop it down. Yeah, Tom, you can grab a stick and push it back. Kola, would you give me another save, please? Save versus spells, no dwarven modifier, please.
Right.
You have 4 points of Astonishing Fortune that have not been used yet today, if you want to reroll that. This is a save.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
She didn't feel it as badly.
Didn't fail as badly. Ugh.
Hey, what level are you?
5.
5? Your save versus spell should be 14 or less. Because you're a priest. It's still a fail. Just 15 did seem quite high for a priest.
Save versus spell, I've got listed target 15.
So what's listed is incorrect then.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Take a look at your PHP.
Yeah.
Because it's a first to third level priest is a save versus spell is 15. It's 14. Your breath weapon's better. Your petrification polymorph's better. Rod staff wand's better. Paralyzation. So all your saves should be 1 better than what you had at first level.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
I will make those adjustments at the end of the session.
Sure. So
you might want to make them sooner, just in case there's more saves.
Yeah. So you can feel. No, what this is doing is what you suddenly have you suddenly remember. You have a flash of this cola of your bare hands digging into frozen ground furtively and in a frenzied way. You can feel your hands numb, from digging into this stuff. How do you not remember this? And Tom, as you push back the stick, what you can see is Sans the chain. It is an amulet from one of the Black Ice Berserkers that you faced. Something was hanging around its neck. A large chunk of black ice affixed with leather straps and such. You were certain that this was buried.
Well, I'll look back. I'll let the leather sort of flip over and then sort of look
Cola?
surprised at Cola.
That roll I just did was to see whether or not I've got enough in me to ask Tom to hold me. I don't, so I'm gonna lunge.
Nope.
Oh no?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You what you remember now is we now will have, again in the film version of this, we would see now your face. And as you're furiously digging into the buried loot that was left behind, your eyes are completely black. Digging in to grab it. And you remember it now.
Now I remember my eyes being that way?
You remember having been taken over that way. You remember digging this up now. You remember seizing it because you needed it. But you don't have the pull. At this very moment, standing and seeing this revealed, you remember what you did. There's I imagine there's a sinking feeling of having completely lost control, snuck away from the camp while you were supposed to be keeping watch, digging up the chunk of black ice and keeping it to yourself all this time.
So if I don't feel the draw then never mind my little roll there. So then I think I will just then proactively say, Tom, you might want to just restrain me.
Okay, well, I'm going to... Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to cover the medallion up with the leather flap again, see if that makes any good, and then sort of like go and hold Cola.
Well, more than that, you want to get rid of that, but maybe tie me up or something first.
What you guys can see is you've seen Cola when he was in the full grip of the black ice. When he'd established himself as the head of his household, effectively, after his mother's death. You've seen him barking commands, foaming at the mouth at his black ice wielding troops. And you saw the struggle he had to shake himself free of that. That's not who's standing before you right now. He seems as crestfallen by this development. And his con is still down from the spell too, so he also looks sick as shit. He honestly, it is not a sinister affect that he has right now. when he shouted out when he threw it away, that definitely was a warning. But the dwarf that stands before you now is one that seems pitiable more than threatening.
Okay. I will do as he asks, and then maybe restrain him while someone else disposes of this.
Cola, am I correct? You don't resist at all?
I do not resist the grapple.
Okay.
Okay. Lex will grab some rope and there's a little rope use. Make sure some good knots are there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
If someone does have rope use, they'd be better off doing the tying up.
So you've got Cola secured.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go through the rest of the stuff before we have to. If we go do one trip, so we'll go through the rest. See if there's any other black ice.
This was the only one.
Okay. Then Falco probably comes back and we're like, hey, we got more.
Yeah, Falco, I think around this point you have managed to find it. It's fallen. You can picture that in the snow that fell over the previous day. It was real thick. So it's easy to find just the hole that was left by this thing going in. And when you go in and retrieve it out, the Yeti is still keeping a distance of about 15 feet away from you, and it's still following you. And kind of like...
Okay.
What do you do?
I'll make my way to the edge of the river and chuck it into the middle as far as I can.
Remember, the river's frozen.
Yeah.
There is that fishing hole, though, that Ostin would have...
I'll see if I can go there and
Yep.
kick it open a little bit, and then drop it into the water.
The ice that's formed over it, you toe, you kind of poke at it with your toe, it breaks through, and you're able to ploof, drop it in.
Then I'll just dust my hands off and just lift my eyes to the stars and just offer a prayer to Solinar and start to make my way back.
When you look up, remember what drifts above you. The Aurora Borealis. The manifestation of Auril.
Just shake my head. Her power won't last long.
As you make your way back to the side, you can see that the Yeti tyke is still waiting there for you.
Okay. I'll approach as close as I can to it without scaring it off.
Okay.
Does it let me get close?
Yeah, it's looking at your hands and trying to see if there's any more food.
Okay. I'll reach inside my cloak where I keep some jerky that I feed my bird. Pull out a little handful and offer it to him.
Okay. And he kind of takes it and skitters back, not as far back as before and not as quickly as he did before. Takes one bite of the jerky and then goes, ah! Ah! And throws it to the ground. Ah! Jamming snow into its face to try and get the taste of it off of its tongue.
That'll elect a laugh from me.
Okay.
And I'll pick it back up and put it back in the pocket and just motion for him to follow.
Okay.
Back towards the tent to see.
Kind of looks and it trots along after you. So Falcarel, joins the party right now. You can see Cola has been secured. There is all his stuff is all kind of spread out across maybe a blanket that you guys have set down so that it doesn't all get wet. And the Yeti type kind of hangs out at the edge of the clearing and kind of just is watching what's going on and sniffing. So that's where you rejoin the scene then, Falcarel. You walk back in. What do you guys tell Falcarel?
Looks like Cola's also been secretly harboring another medallion with a bigger piece of black ice. Not really sure where it came from, but it doesn't seem to have the same effect as when we found him in his family's area.
I noticed the kind of like brokenness that looks on Cola, like he just lost faith in himself for doing that.
So yeah, if you've all moved away, I'm sure you're not too far away, but I'm just like tied up in the corners, like I'm just staring at the ground, like staring through the ground, like blankly, occasionally muttering something that sounds like the same sentence over and over again. Tom and Lex heard it. I've whispered to them. They heard it when they were tying him up. But it seems like I'm saying the same thing over and over again every couple minutes.
He thinks he's betrayed us but I think there's something else here, because why would he, if he was totally free of the black ice, then why would he be secreting away black ice? Like, if once the grip was gone, there was no grip before, right?
Well, yeah, his behavior returned to normal after we got him away from his uncle's the black ice there, and then I didn't notice until recently his behavior changed again.
But why?
Cola, do you remember encountering black ice before this, like since we left the pirates?
It takes a second, and you may even need to like call his attention again. But Alcohol, I don't even remember where that medallion, until moments ago, I had no recollection of it was a shock to me to find this medallion here. I don't remember.
Cola, give us another save versus spell, please.
Sure.
Crit. So, Cola, you have full recollection of having caught your finger on the thing now, and you are free to share that information with everyone.
Well, I can't actually look at my hand, I guess. I sit there and think about it for a good minute or two if you're waiting. And I start shaking my head and like puzzling. The pirates. Takaro, what did you say earlier? You mentioned the pirates. They didn't have any amulets, and yet they were affected. You remember that?
Yes, I think we saw a glimpse of the black ice within their eyes.
Aye. When we moved that what was a masthead, right, or something? Mm-hmm. When we moved that large piece of black ice out into the river or the lake, I think I caught myself on an edge of it.
What?
We took every precaution we could have, but we knew it was going to be dangerous. And apparently, we did not prepare enough. And apparently apparently I am more susceptible, perhaps, than you, having been exposed once before. Whatever the reasons, I think I remember getting caught. Didn't think of anything of it at that time. Maybe because of the influence, I don't know. But
how did we help the pirates? Use the ring, right?
I cast a restoration using the ring. But before you start thinking that's an option, mate.
It doesn't have enough charges, right? That's what you just told us.
There's that. The ring is weak in magic right now. But more than that, Lex, I don't know what caused it at that time, but I don't truly understand the nature of this ring. Not fully. But I can tell you this. The ring itself does not have enough power to do what I did that day. That was an intervention. Someone, Berenor herself, no doubt, acted through me as a conduit for her power to restore those fishermen. That was not me. Or the ring. I don't know if that would work again.
Well, it might be worth a try down the road. But what do we do in the meantime?
Falkrel, he's going to step forward and get on his knees and reach for Cola's head and try to look into his eyes to see if he can see any sign of the splinters in his eyes.
I don't think if you're looking, you probably can't see it.
Bring him closer to the fire, maybe?
Yeah.
Bring him closer to the fire.
Or we can bring a torch in.
Well, how about we don't bring a torch into our tent and we bring him closer to the fire?
So if you bring him closer to the fire, and you see in his... What color are Cola's eyes again? Are they brown?
Sure. I think brown.
So that's probably the reason why it was difficult to see. But in his brown eyes, in those irises, with the illumination of the crackling fire, you can see tiny flecks of black in one of them.
We all notice this now?
Falcarol notices that.
Okay.
Falcor will sigh heavily and then stand up and says he's got the specks in one of his eyes.
Lex is like, come with me for a second. He takes Falcarol and maybe Tom.
Maybe I'm going to suggest that one of us stays with Cola just in case, and also to provide some companionship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Osten you hear Longclaw growl, and Osten says, "We will watch him."
No, I'd rather.
Yeah, we'll be fine. They've decided they're not going to do anything yet. They've trusted us this far.
I'm gonna stare at Osten and Longclaw just for a brief moment to kind of assess them, to see if I can trust them, because I trust even under this eyes more than them at the moment.
Guys, why did Osten join you in the first place?
Stop the White Witch. Longclaw has also joined us to stop the White Witch. And they've given us the opportunity to search his belongings and do the right thing without attacking him when he was first sitting there. So we have no reason not to trust him.
It does seem like Longclaw does seem to be a bit more aggressive and impulsive, but he also seems to be taking Osten's lead, as if he either respects Osten or Osten has a actual formal relationship with him in which he has to follow his orders. For whatever reason, Longclaw seems to bow to his nod to his lead.
He's definitely, and they've given us the chance, so I think we trust him.
Okay, I will defer then.
Okay.
So
Cola contemplates casting Silverbeard on himself just in case.
The Yeti tyke is still lurking on the side of the or edge of the thing. It's sit down, and it's kind of watching.
It's like, this is pretty cool. What's going on?
So
Lex is like, I have no gifts yet. My leaky doesn't grant them to such new rangers. I've heard that other rangers of greater power have gifts, but even then it would be a paltry to what you have. But between you and Cola, and maybe this ring, I don't know. And maybe I could call upon my god too. I don't know if she would answer, but what if we, as a group, all communed with our gods at the same time and asked them to help us in some way? Do you think that, because your god sent you visions, Cola's seen visions, our gods are clearly a part of this stage that we're on, this event.
What did the Thane's wife, the priestess of Baranar, what did she say about the gods getting involved here?
It becomes exceedingly more and more unstable if they do so.
Sure.
But their power has been at work. Solinar sent an avalanche.
Yeah.
We had a mass cleansing of sailors. Aurel's made her presence known several times.
Well, that's just it, though. Aurel has been active regularly. She's tipping the balances. Maybe our gods will step up and try to tip them back. So what I'm thinking is, when you and Cola in the morning go to pray for your spells, maybe I'll join you and pray to Myliki, and maybe we ask for Baranar's help, and we, as a group, try to find some way to, even if they don't help us, even if they just give us an idea of what we can do.
Yeah, Falcarol, he looks down at his one of his knives and pulls it out and says, well, he rubs his finger along the edge and says, I have an idea. If we cannot get the god's guidance, I may be able to remove the eye and spare his life. But I'd really not rather do that. I'm curious. Falcor will take his eye out and save
I would
Cola.
rather you not have to do that too. If
Cola's
anything.
not there, but if he were,
But
Yeah, Thomas is looking at Falcor and saying,
Well, here's something else that you
there's
guys.
also a high-level druid that we're going to try and find. Maybe we just keep Cola.
and like,
well, that's a possibility. I mean, he seems to have accepted it, and maybe we have a keep an eye on him. And
One thing that Cola had mentioned too is that he, and I don't know if he specifically had said where, but he said he cut himself, right, when he was doing that. Did he say he cut his eye?
Well, no, but
No, what if it's like a sliver? What if he's got a sliver of it in him?
I can't hear any of this, right? They're deliberately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
well, no,
Could I
we
just
were all
ask-
there when we disposed of the masthead ornament. So we improvised almost a stretcher to sort of lift it from where it was on the ground in the camp onto a boat, which we then sank.
Yeah, but Cola says he cut his hand.
I did not specify.
Yeah, he said he cut himself. That's it. Didn't say
He
where.
said he cut himself.
I mean, that was the obvious. Well, he said that was where it happened.
The reason
That
I
was
mentioned
actually-
that is just that one of the things. If he cut himself, the location of the flex in the eye, unless he cut himself specifically in that weird location or it fragmented in his eye, then it may not be a physically, it may be a spiritual corruption more so than. And I think Falco, you would probably be aware of that as well too, just from the way he said he injured himself.
I was figuring maybe it's
Like, it wasn't just one eye that the fishermen had the flex in. Both their eyes, all afflicted fishermen were affected.
So then that's strange. So why, if he's only got it in one eye, what does that mean?
Maybe he's not as badly affected.
yeah.
Oh, is that? Wait a minute. Are you Kevin? Are you, like DM? Are you saying that like I actually only have it in the one eye?
What I'm saying, they looked and they saw flex in one eye. They did not see it in the other.
So maybe he's not as badly. Maybe he's not as badly affected.
I did not know.
So we could search to see if he's got a splinter on his body and it's just showing in his eyes. But that's why Falcor was willing to remove the eye, just the eye. So
Well, the eye didn't do it. Let's take off his ears now.
last resort actually, so
Okay.
I can do everything I can. I'm trained in healing. I can try and get out a splinter or try calling my god to repair an injury.
I think we wait and see if we can find this more senior druid and see if he can give us some insight.
Is that too?
Well, yeah, before resorting to eye cutting, yeah.
I think we have it under control, and obviously.
So we'll
Cola
call
that,
eye
so we
cutting
can,
Plan B.
Maybe we just say, well, he'll have to trust us that we check his stuff every camp or something.
Well, after every time we come across black ice.
Yeah, okay. That I think would be a solution. And I'm going to say, well, don't mention the whole eye cutting thing.
Well, that's why he's not here.
Well, no, it's the way Falcor just blurted it out to us. I don't think he won't.
Falcor doesn't, he's stoic and laconic. But he says what's on his mind. He doesn't beat around the bush.
I just don't think there's any eye cutting involved in this process.
If he has to do it to save Cola's life, he will do it. I mean, he likes Cola a lot, so.
He'll mutilate him to save his life.
I like you too, John, but I'm not going to cut your eye out.
If I had evil black stuff in my eye making me do bad stuff, I expect it. Get it
Well,
out.
that's an interesting point too.
Careful, John. That's on YouTube. That exists now. That is like legal defense.
What you said, so to prevent him from doing bad stuff.
Mhm.
Has he done
He hasn't
anything?
done anything.
Well, there was a whole attempted takeover of his uncle's place, but
No, but since the fisherman.
how do you? No, but I don't trust this black ice. So
That could also be Andrew not playing this properly. I mean, I haven't really been asking enough to say, like, is it affecting me? Should I be being more selfish or
Nope.
greedy?
And anything so that I would be letting you know if
Okay.
if there's any. Well, normally, you get a save obviously, and then you may have a consequence from that. But
Okay.
I mean, the difficulty is you now remember having snuck away from camp, dug that thing up,
Okay, so
And in fact, you know what? Like any of those, I don't know. I don't remember if in fiction or in the game actually we've had any time where Cola has failed a surprise roll when he was on watch. But if he did, we now know what was distracting him. Sitting around alone at the campfire with that chunk of black ice out.
interesting. So, yeah.
What do you guys do with the ice then? The black ice?
Oh, I'm gonna drop that in the river too.
Okay. The Yeti type follows you down to there. You jump on in and he follows you back.
Okay. Becoming attached to this Yeti tyke.
You're not the only one. It's pretty cute.
Well, it depends if Kev's like JMS, the Babylon 5 guy, whether he has that view about cute companions or not.
Does the Yeti have like aura of unnaturally cold around him?
It is definitely like it's as you say. If you get your bare skin near him, his fur absorbs heat. He's also keeping a respectful distance from the campfire.
I assume it's been about 24 hours since I had that halberd, so I'm attuned to it.
You are, yes.
Right. So
So you're actually able to get in. Yeah, you can definitely get in and touch it. You don't want to be holding it too long, but I mean, if you touch it, it kind of like rubs its head into your hand.
Yeah,
With your gloves on, you're safe, and clothes on, you're safe to scritch this thing if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely wanted to get close and see if it was friendly.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. It's it reacts to you like kind of rubs up against you, and then its paws or hands immediately start going through your pouches trying to find more of that food.
Only be a bird jerky, my friend.
Okay.
We'll get you more meat later.
Kev's experience with rescue animals is very pleasant to see.
It definitely informs my Okay.
So yeah, we'll head back and talk to Cola, I suppose.
Okay.
So we're gonna let him know we're gonna try and find the druid to see if he can help for him.
So if you say that, Ostin, his head kind of cocks and he says, "He."
Or she. We are strangers to this land.
She. And
Probably
I
not she, but
agree. Kaniaka may help your friend.
Valkyrie will look at Ocean and say, the other sailors that we saw with this, when they were afflicted, they had shards in both their eyes. Kola only has one eye that has been affected. He's fighting this as far as we can tell.
I know your spirit is great, Kola.
You'll forgive me if I have my doubts.
You have seen the effect of black ice on mortal men. You, he gestures to this, you have been carrying this with you, and still you fight.
Perhaps Clangadin and Baranor have not yet left me.
Nor the spirits. And you hear Longclaw kind of growl as well. This is but more a burden, and yet one more way that you and I are kindred souls, Kola. And he sort of transforms back, and one of the first times you guys have seen him as a ragged tribesman. And he is a scrawny, maybe 19-year-old kid.
That young?
Yep.
I'm
tried.
genuinely shocked.
And he just says, his voice is much less impressive when not in bear form. And he's shivering as well, too, because it's freezing here. And he says, it may not seem it, but my burden is a curse as well. And I will do what I can to assist you in bearing yours. And he extends his hand out.
Cola cannot take his hand right now.
Macro will go over there and loosen the ropes. We don't need to keep.
Okay. So you are loosened.
I will take his hand when I'm loosened.
It'd be pretty fucked up if I plunge a dagger into Cola's eye, right? He does not.
I
So
will.
he shakes your hand and then turns back and then returns back to the man-bear form. The top. No need to let go of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, guys, you have a trip into the mountains. You have the druid that awaits.
I think Cola needs a day of rest.
Well, Cola needs to finish his evening of rest.
Yeah.
But when morning comes, guys, nothing happens over the evening. Morning comes, and you find that Yeti tyke curled up on the edge of the camp, sleeping.
Oh.
Well, Falcro, he would have just curled up nearby and just watched him.
Okay.
After his
So
shift
yeah,
was over.
when you morning comes, he's awake, and if you think Asshole was a pain before, when Asshole lands on you, the tyke sees it and kind of like scrambles over to try and get it to eat. Takes off to the air.
I was just gonna say, Asshole is going to be pissed.
Well, I think we agreed that Asshole's a lappet-faced warrior, so he'd probably win. Very attractive, probably.
So, with morning coming, guys, you guys are, you're getting yourselves ready. We already made our rolls for the hunting. Cola only needs about 10 minutes to prep for his spells. So, and perhaps, after the events of the previous evening, only 10 minutes of half-hearted prayer is all you can really muster anyway. But as you guys are setting out for getting ready to, pack up, you're getting the rams set. The tent is on on Alehead. Lex, you were the one who rolled best before. You look off in the southwest direction, and you see something circling above the mountains. What it appears to be, at first it just looks like birds.
Can we get the...
But what you can see is that they are longer than birds. And circling above the mountains. Oh yeah, the telescope, great. Yeah, take that out. And what you can see through that cracked spyglass, Lex,
Don't be terrified.
is a small pack of griffins.
Sweet. I can become a Grey Warden.
Griffins.
No,
And
start using...
when you take when you lower the spyglass, you realize that Oshton is standing next to you, looking off in the direction, and he says, "You see them too."
Indeed. Griffins?
They reside in our intended destination. Ready yourself, Lex. Kaniaka and her kin are masters of the Griffins.
Sweet.
And with that, guys, we will bring our session to a close. So, Mo, so you had a question you were to ask?
No, I was going to say, someone get out the telescope.
Oh, okay.
I'll just let you continue.
All right. So, guys, let's. How many points of Astonishing Fortune are left?
3.
3. Okay. So that means.
Tell you what, my heart was beating real quick when I had to get that amulet. I didn't know what happened, but I had to do something. Like, well, I'm just going to grab it and start slaughtering everybody. Here goes. Let's do it.
I was worried about what was going to happen, because if I failed too badly or whatever, like if it took me over,
The drama is delicious.
I'm so glad.
Austin would have fucked me up good.
That's assuming he beats Longclaw to the punch.
Mm.
True. Longclaw would be even more ferocious.
Okay. All right, guys. So, with Longclaw does not get XP, but Ostin does.
Nice.
So, guys, with today's session, very RP heavy, but you guys also identified a magic item, which is pretty good, and you're going to get an XP award for hitting a story milestone because you guys have revealed the presence of black ice in Cola's body.
Yeah.
So before you add any bonuses for high XP or high what do you call it, prime requisites, you guys are each walking away with 730 XP. 730. I'll adjust Ostin for you.
Does Cola get any experience for those spells he cast? Heal?
Yeah, that's fine.
Identify, but that's about.
Well, you got 2 healing spells off.
Yeah, and identify you would get points for as well too.
Okay.
Because he's really close to leveling.
Well, it won't be enough. I'm still 1 session away at least.
Okay.
Can I donate mine to him?
How much are you shy right now?
With the spells and the XP you just awarded, I get 1,030 today, which brings me to, let's see here, 35,218. I need 35,500 to hit level 6. So I'm shy by 300, like 300 points.
Oh,
280 points.
Yeah.
I will donate some of mine to him if that'll help.
Nope, that's not how it goes.
No. Did you cast any other spells today, Cola, apart from Identify? Did you cast any?
No, I included in my spell, I got 300 points for spells because I cast a Cure Light and a Cure Moderate and the Identify. So,
okay.
That's, nope.
Only we got that back.
That's right.
Guys, fine.
We'll get next week.
Yep. You also got XP for how you guys handled the Yeti as well, too. So, great. All right, guys. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this very eventful session of our Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign, our quarantine campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, you can find a link in the description of the video to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have channels dedicated to this game, this campaign, and every other campaign we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other things like finding a group, advice on setting up virtual tabletops or selecting from virtual tabletops, and advice for setting up streaming. So tons of great advice on there, tons of great conversation, and tons of great people as well. So please feel free to follow us through. While you're down there too, I ask you to consider clicking on, if you haven't done so far and you don't want to miss future sessions, clicking on subscribe and the bell icon to be notified when we go live. You can also find notifications for us going live, or rather our notifications for the schedule for the coming week on the community tab of the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. I also post that on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Dungeon Musings. And you can also find the schedule posted on the Dungeon Musings Discord server. Last but not least, you can certainly reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com, and I try and stay on top of that as well. Last thing I'll say is a huge thank you to the players. So guys, what a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon, or evening in Mo's case. So Dave, Mo, Andrew, and John, thank you so much for playing today, guys. This was a lot of fun. I love these RP heavy sessions. It's great. So,
my favorite.
Awesome. Then, and once again, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this session 43 or 44. If you are joining us during the current crisis, we do hope that this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. We hope we've given you a few hours to turn your mind off of the troubles of our world and start thinking about the troubles that our heroes continually either get themselves into or continue to deal with. And until we see you again, happy gaming.